And welcome, this is Nuke Marine, presenting the Suggested Guide for Japanese Literacy's course series on Memorize. Currently I am teaching course number 3, which is the Remembering the Kanji Optimized, Part 1, presenting the 555 kanji from the Book 1 of 2001 Kanji Odyssey series, and presenting those in Heisek's Remembering the Kanji order. If you've been enjoying this video, please remember to like it, and again consider sharing it or sharing it on your social media feed for anyone who says they're interested in either learning kanji or whatnot. And again, this should be the today I'm having actually officially started the video for the presentation, but yeah, this will be the last video of the series for part 1, and which I guess total is going to come out to about 30 hours or so, which is kind of surprised, sort of surprised me, because when you look at it, I mean, again, that's 30 hours of me teaching as opposed to 30 hours of me studying in the last. So that's actually a good chunk of change. 30 hours of studying time is a big chunk of change in the when you consider like what 100 hours or 200 hours or something, or a percentage of time. In the grand scheme of things, not going to be too much, and I think for again, hopefully these 30 hours that I spent dedicated then can get multiplied beneficially to, again, the 10, 20, hopefully 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people that over time eventually end up watching this if it ends up becoming popular. Just to get people into, demystifying the scary kanji that is, a lot of people try to put into Japanese. It's not the only way to learn kanji. I mean, there are different methods. It's just the one I ended up liking. Because it's structured. I mean, there are some people that say, okay, they just learn the primitives. Either they're just kanji in themselves, or that's also, that works. This lesson, when we get into it, is going to be, like I said, here's the kanji. Like I said, here, primitives go out the window. You get some weird stuff happening at this point. And that's fine. Again, near the end of the book, that's even how Isaac kind of like his stories start kind of getting weird, because I think he's like he didn't even know really what to do with it. But again, those are fun. These are going to, again, the kanji we're going to learn today is also going to be used a lot, and it should be a fun lesson, even if it's the last lesson for the series before you move on into grammar, before people who are using it or learning it move on into grammar or vocabulary. Then what I'll plan to do is after the lesson, I'm going to finish up my reviews, which are due today, 102. Yeah, only 200, so that shouldn't take too long. Maybe about, I want to say, an hour or so. So do the lesson for about 40 minutes to an hour, review for about an hour. Then what I'll do is probably just for fun, just this is Zetai Kureshi. I think I was reading it out loud a few days ago near the end of the stream, to fill up the time to 3 hours, and I think I'll do it here. Just try it, just read out loud. Maybe I'll make sure to get the view of the, how do you say, zoom? Is it supposed to be control mouse up? Yeah, control number plus. Make it nice and big so you can read it. Alright, so yeah, I'll, just for fun, I'll do that. I got a reply from the gentleman who I made that video for, that hour-long video, making suggestions to his year-long plan to his year-long roadmap to learn Japanese. And he's on travel, he's a musician, and but he said he hasn't watched it, but he'll look at it, and then I don't know, we'll see how it. I looked at his vlog today, and he's getting past past katakana, getting at the hiragana, and also the primitives, or I'm sorry, radicals that are for kanji, and that'll be. Yeah, hopefully he keeps it up. Like I said, a big thing is a lot of things with language learning just showing up. Other thing is, and I hope he gets into this, is listening to Japanese, not just from the academic or the studying standpoint, but just for fun. Again, he needs to make sure he's collecting some stuff he would enjoy watching, or maybe or another way is take a TV show that you knew you enjoyed in English, and then watch it in Japanese. So you understand the point, where all the characters are doing and whatnot, so you kind of know but you're just getting used to hearing Japanese at a native level. Even if you personally don't comprehend what's going on. just getting that ear trained, and it's like, maybe pick up the occasional word. You get excited because wow, you're finding little bits of treasure in this this ton of dirt, and soon it becomes all just refined. You've sifted out all the noise, and now it's just comprehensible information at the end, which is ultimately where you want to go to, even if. So yeah. Anyway, that's the plan today. Is do the lesson and then move on. Let me make sure my audio is working. And which is ultimately all right. Audio is working. By the way, in Japan. It's a nice, bright, early day. It's let's see, 10:30 in the morning. Sun's shining. I can see Mount Fuji clearly from my balcony. Just took a peek. It's surrounded by mountains, it's surrounded by mountains. It's surrounded by clouds, but yeah, you can still make out the outline, the snow-capped mountain. Yeah. And since it's such a beautiful day, I thought I'd just spend it all inside doing a live stream because why not? Why break a bad habit or a good habit, however you want to see it. All right, so let's get this started. So what I did, I made sure, since this is a Monday for me, I posted a reminder on the daily live stream on the Memorize forums. On the Kohi forums, I again put a little thing, hey, okay, it's a new week, here's what I'm doing, almost done. And also, let me cancel this out, also on the Shitsu Monday thread, did that, posted. Now, what I'll be doing here after I finish this video and get the links all done and whatnot, I'm going to actually make an official post to Learn Japanese to say, hey, and it will have all the links to all the lessons and whatnot, and I'll describe it literally as RTK optimized part 1 dash the 555 kanji from 2K1 KO book 1 series and presented in RTK order. Okay, and I'll just describe it like that. And I'll make mention it's a 30-hour video course. It's I think that's an important thing to put out. This is not this is not like a quick little 30-minute video of kanji being shown to music. This is like a legitimate, flat out. I mean, this is almost like a college course level, I would think. Considering the again, if you did 30 hours of college course lessons, 30 hours there. I think. Let's see. Every 16 hours is every 16 hours. So this would be like a 2-credit-hour course. A college course, because the idea is like, okay, you actually sit through 2 hours of lecture or learning per week for 16 weeks. That would be 32 hours there, so that would be your college course. And then of course you got the 2 hours outside of it, which would be of course you're studying and reviewing using the Memorize system. So that would be your total of so actually roughly make it about a 2-credit-hour course. So maybe maybe an additional lab or whatnot. It's probably more extreme than that. But it's up to you on how you want to look at that. That's way back when I was trying to mentally think is like basically every 50 hours of you putting into Japanese, of studying, reviewing, and whatnot, just 50 hours is a credit hour of college. Because again, it's the 16 hours you got to do for in the classroom, and then the 32 hours you have to do outside the classroom, which totals about 48 hours per credit hour. At least that's in theory what they want to do. If you ever gone to college, you realize that people try to do the minimum outside class. They go to the class, they do the minimum in the class. They basically try to minimize what they have to do. They just the only thing they give a crap about is a grade. They don't care about what they actually get out of it for a lot of college classes. But yeah, so hopefully you get a lot more out of this if you want to look at it. And if you do it like I did, there are some courses you can take. You can take the JLPT, and especially if you're doing self-study, you want to find a way to where, hey, I'm going to go to college now, and if you can submit your JLPT scores to that college, maybe they'll accept that and give you some credit that way. For me, I was in the military. I did the defense language proficiency test, and they gave me college credit in the class I'm taking now, like 10 upper level credit hours or something like that. We could have been up to 22, depending on how much since my major wasn't in foreign languages, it didn't matter. It was just to fill up they filled up the prereqs for whatever they needed for the 4-year degree. Okay, enough about me, enough about that. Let's start this off. Alright, so we're on Remember the Kanji Optimized Part 3. We got 3 people watching in the stream. As always, if you got any comments or questions, please make it in the live. I'll try to get to it if I can. If you're watching this later on for whatever reason, make comments down in below, and I'll try to answer them. If you just want to offer compliments, I may not answer compliments, but it sounds kind of conceited to answer that. But thank you I appreciate all compliments, but definitely want to try to, if there are questions, I want to get to those. I will try to answer questions. It could be either in YouTube or on Reddit or on the Kohi forums or on the Memorize forums, wherever I'm going. And yeah, and I also got even Mumble. Like I said, I got Mumble here, but usually Mumble is really quiet, so it's hard to depend on that group, because again, that's a mixed bag of who shows up and what the conversation is about. All right, so we are on, let's see, lesson 37. Wow, look at that. And I do need to go and actually add in all the multimedia, like I said yesterday, add in the multimedia link to these when, let's see, these are what we're going. All right, so let me do the official or the lesson introduction, and we'll go from there. So it's at 10 minutes. We'll say 10 minutes 50 seconds in the stream. It is the 16th. Helps if I actually change the title, right? Tell you what, let me change this real quick to 16. Okay, and that can be updated. All right, and that is ready. All right, so here we go. Welcome back. This is Nuke Marine presenting the suggested guide for Japanese literacy course series on Memorize. Currently, this is course number 3, Remembering the Kanji Optimized, part 1, that presents 555 kanji from the 2001 Kanji.Odyssey book series by Coscom, and present those in RTK order for optimized learning. Now, today we are on the final lesson, lesson 37. So this is the final 15, bringing your total of kanji that you should slowly begin to memorize, either from recognition or writing from memory, hearing an English keyword, up to 555. All right, then from here, if you're following my course series or my roadmap or whatnot, so you've done hiragana, you've done katakana, so there's 100 symbols, right, 100 and something symbols right there. You're learning kanjis, there's 555 symbols. You're going to use all these symbols now and start applying it to the grammar course. In this case would be Tai Kim, about 10 to 20 hours there, and then also RTK, or not RTK, but also vocabulary course after that, which would be 500 vocabulary words, roughly about, I haven't done a timeline, but around 20 to 30 hours and whatnot, because 500 vocabulary words in addition to 500 example sentences. They're more for training your audio, training your ear. When you get to that'll all start making sense. And again, putting all this kanji to use starts being fun. I'm hearing from some people who are taking the course that they're watching, they're starting to see subtitles and whatnot, and they're recognizing kanji that they have learned through the course, so that's good. Continue it up. Now, I had the benefit when I first learned was, I was in Japan, so walking around I got to get immediate feedback on, hey, this is actually working, this stuff is no longer noise, it actually makes sense. Because I lived in Japan prior, like 10 years, or I'm saying 10, let me put that. 20 years ago, I lived in Okinawa, Japan. I was stationed there in the Marine Corps for a year's time. I didn't know any Japanese beyond very, very basic, like maybe counting to 10 and, how are you doing, saying hi or whatnot, where's the name, where's the bathroom. That was it. When I left the Marine Corps, got in the Navy, a few years in the Navy, I was able to get stationed in Japan. That's when I started trying to learn Japanese seriously, and that's where this all came about. Eventually, that was 10 years ago. So anyway, so again, I do know the difference between going to Japan, not knowing anything, going to Japan, just knowing kanji, and then going to Japan, knowing Japanese. And it improves with the more you know the language, the more you enjoy Japan. And that also means the more even if you don't go to Japan, if you like Japanese media, the more you know the language, the more you can enjoy it, because you can get rid of the English subtitles, which is English subtitles is good, they are good, but it's a filter, and then you're going through the filter of the translator. And so if you remove the translator, and it's just whatever the media is to you, and you get to interpret it yourself, and that's what you want to get to. That's the main purpose of this guide to Japanese literacy. And literacy also infers fluency in that ability to read good and be able to listen good. All right. The production value, not necessarily the goal of it, but that will come about. The idea, I say, for production, speaking and writing, is dealing with what's called the input method. Input a lot of Japanese into your life so that when you try to output it, your brain is saying, hey, this sounds right or this doesn't sound right. You're probably going to notice that when you start writing kanji, you know, if you write kanji a lot, you start noticing where, hey, it feels right or it doesn't feel right. And that's what we're going to. All right, so since you're on this lesson, final lesson, and I'm hoping to, and I'm going to try to prep you a lot more for the grammar that's coming up and the vocabulary that's coming up. So let's have fun. So again, these are kanji that are a little more complicated to write, but they're very common kanji. I mean, you're going to see these in the vocabulary and grammar that's in these courses, because they're, you know, again, they're very commonly used kanji, but it's just that they're complicated to categorize. But we're going to do that, and let us begin. So let's start with preview. So we got to make sure the first kanji we're going to learn is fly, and that's fly as in the action, not fly as the insect. Okay, so here we got is fly. This is a complicated. This is kind of a complicated thing. It's got that trailing, what they call a trailing hook, or I'll call it trailing wind. That's from ki, the previous kanji we looked at. But this is fly. This can mean to fly, to skip, scatter, also to jump. I've seen it used in the kanji for jump, but there is another kanji for jump as well, which is jump and dance. So you might hear tobu for, like tobu, you'll hear it for jumping. I don't know if this kanji is used for it though. So fly, skip, scatter. And so this is the ki, this is the he of hikoki. Alright, so words that use that. So we have tobu, fly, like the bird is flying. Hiko, the second, so it's aviation, so it's fly and go, or fly and going, and then you'll have ki, mechanism, which is hiko ki. Hiyaku, first word, leaping, activity, leapfrog. So you see how the leapfrog are making a leap in logic. So it's not necessarily jumping actively, jumping in mentally. Okay. Yuhi, second word, flying jump, great achievement. Okay, so this is he. Now what you're seeing is like hook. I like trailing wind, but Isaac likes to use spark. Then we used hook, sparks. Then we do 1,000. Okay, we're gonna look at the we're gonna have to depend on Isaac for this one. This is gonna be kind of weird. What you see is like, okay, so one is that hook. Then you do the sparks. Now, do the so it was the vertical stick first. So it's in a little weird order in how this is going to work out. So let's look at what Isaac has to bring to the table. Okay, so last character we learned was spirit, vapor. Now we have his fly. So you notice how he's doing the hook and the 2 sparks. Now normally you would think is that downward stroke and the curve goes first, but nah, it's that vertical stroke, that stick goes first, and then the drop in. It looks like you're trying to do 1,000 mixed with the trailing wind. 1,000 and trailing wind. So if it has to, think of the stick as the last stroke of the first part, and then the 1,000 is the first stroke of the second part. We'll work with it with that. Okay. All right. The reason is because again, it looks like it was this part here, the whole umbrella stand. So it looks like you're trying to do this, but it's not. You're going to be ending up do the stick first. Then you're going to do the drop. Then you're going to do the trailing part. Then you're going to. So everything else is we have is the trailing wind right there, which is from ki. You remember from ki, and then what we call the sparks. 1, 2, 1, 2. So let's all combine this together. So we're going to do the trailing, the wind. If you want to, you think of sparks flying in the wind, or the scattered sparks. So we use this first part to think about it as being scattered sparks. So we think of scattered sparks, we do the wind, and we want to do the sparks. So we'll do the sparks as 2 things. Okay. Now we want to do is this, and if it wants to, it's like if it's on top of that sparkler. So we're gonna 1, 2, and then we want to do that. If we want to, that's it. So this could be just visualize a sparkler, like from the 4th of July sparkler. Now what we want to do is the next part is like the all the dust in the wind, which is 1,000 dust particles in the wind. So now we want to do that part. So let's do so here's the trailing wind, there's the sparks, there's the stick. Now we want to do 1,000. So we want to do the first part of a weird 1,000, but we're going to do dropping stick, Now it's kind of look like, now it's like how it looks like 1,000. Okay, so it's a little bit different than if you recalled what was it, measuring box? I'm trying to remember what was measuring box. I think it was like, that was measuring box, I think. Ignore that, but anyway, let's just do hikoki one last time. So this is he. So wind, or if you want to think of it as sparkler. So wind, sparks, straight stick, drop, straight stick. Then finally the trailing wind again with the sparks, and that's fly. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Fly. It's you got to get a little practice writing that. There's no, it's not in any of the other existing patterns. Next kanji. So that's fly. What are they saying? Like hummingbirds? Okay, I guess that works. What was Isaac saying? 2 large hooks. So he's calling those things as propellers. Stick down. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Next kanji. Mask. So this is, if you've ever heard Mindokusai or Moshiroi, this is the mask that shows in those. So yeah, mask. Usually face, feature, surface appearance, min. Here we have is omo or omote, flat face, surface, or the mask. No mask, I guess, is a good example. Tsura, face, mug, surface. Men, face. Okay, so again, basically the face. So this is gonna pretend like this is a mask covering a person's face. Here we have is menkai, meeting face to face, an interview. Okay, menkai. Ganmen, first word, face of a person. Second word, the front page of an application blank. Okay. Then we have is homen, direction, district, or area. Alright, so those are the words he uses. So here we're saying for the story. Yes, another Halloween mask. This mask is one large eye with a little drop of the drop saying for the nose. You can kind of see nose, or like a nose or something, but instead of the nose, maybe it's like you had a big eye where in the center of your mask, so maybe it's a big Cyclops mask. Where you start, yeah, Beetlejuice standards. By the way, you can see the stroke order is comb followed by the distorted 3. 1, 2, 3. Not sure how that helps. So basically, he's going to do 1 drop and do what's called comb, and then finally 3 strokes for or to either finish off it. It's going to look like a desk or the drawer, the desk or the drawer that we showed. So let's go to Heisig real quick. So we got fly, sink, wife. Okay, decline, inmost, mask. Here we are. Imagine a mask. Okay, he's saying 100. It's like a variant of there, but there is, you can kind of see comb right there, which we didn't cover, but it's kind of it's kind of visual when you can see it. So let's look over this. So if you think of mask, think of monster mask. So if you think of the one-eyed monster mask. There's the one, and the eye is in the one-eyed monster mask. It's like a Cyclops. So the eye is where the nose should be. So we'll just say there's the nose, and we want to do comb. So 1 drop. And comb is going to be 2 strokes in here. So I'm going to do the 2 strokes together. 1 drop. Alright, there's 2 strokes, so it's not like 1 drop in comb, but this is, so think of like a sideway eye, or eye within an eye if you want to, for a mask. So 1 in a drop, and we got the eye within an eye. So there's the eye. Now we're going to do this eye. So it's almost like an eye within an eye. And then finally finish it off. So this is mask. Okay. And I guess I could 1 drop in eye within an eye. That kind of makes sense. I like that little thing. Okay. And that's it for, so we got fly and we got mask. Let's go to the next kanji. Now we're going to have turn. Now this looks like what they're going to call, it looks like wheat with little drops. So it's going to be called like a seedling, or they're saying rice field. Okay. So it looks like a rice, but with a little wheat rice, okay, because it's got wheat and rice, so maybe it's like whatever, a cereal that deals with Cheerios and Rice Krispies. Ooh, yeah, Rice Krispies, that could work. But anyway, this is called turn. Now this means turn as in my turn, your turn to do dishes, my turn to vacuum the floor. Number in a series, so this is kind of like bango. So go is a similar thing, so bango would be a series of numbers. Here we go. Banin, the second word, a watch guard, or a guard, or a watchman. Bangumi program, TV program. So I guess it's the turn. Junban, turn in line, order of things, sequential order. Okay. Alright, here we go. So their third turn around this track. As you follow the animal tracks over the rice field, they turn around in a path over and over and over again. So I guess is, you know, if you want to say these are like little rice droplings, or well, let's see what Isaac has to say, because he gives it another meaning. So here we got mask, leather. This is a useful thing. You see that in shoe and bag. Shoes, yeah. Hegemony, voice, give, recreation, mistake, steam, acquiesce, bean, or bin, sorry, bin, trash bin, poles, tusk, bud, wicked, graceful. Here we have is saying animal tracks. It's like wheat and rice. It's like a mix of wheat and rice. So I think, if you want to bring it a more cereal thing, so it's like wheat and Rice Krispies. It can also just use animal tracks, or animal droplings, like the animals eat rice and wheat. You can tell that by the droplings. So it's the droppings or their their excrement. Another way you could say. So instead of animal tracks, it's like animal droppings, if that's more of a visual. However you want to do it. But let's practice that. Tell you what, we'll keep it down here. So we want to mix is wheat. So we got wheat. And we also know rice. Well, let's mix those two together. So we want to do, there's the drop, there's the two little arms for rice, or, why I say it's like the chopsticks. Then let's finish it off with the tree, and that's turn, or this is animal droplings. Now we want to combine this on a field. So okay, so maybe it's a field. So they're saying, maybe a farmer is saying, hey, it's your turn to pick up the animal droppings from the rice field. Or no, it's your turn to pick up the animal droppings from the wheat field. So, turn. Let's see. Here's what Isaac has to say. So there's animal tracks, explanation, turn. The key word here is several meanings: turn of duty, around, or a number. And what he's saying for a pair of dice. Okay. A pair of dice. When it's your turn to throw so it looks like your turn to throw in what looks like a dice. Yeah. All right, we'll see about that. So let's do, and it's going to be kind of compacted here. Do the little tree. So do the drop. So wheat, rice, or animal droppings, or footprints, if you want, however you want to do it. Then we want to do is field. We'll do this in two. So there's the animal tracks or animal droppings on the field, and this is turn, my turn, your turn. Turn around the field. Keep turning around the field. Your turn to, or maybe if you want to, this is droppings on the field, so that's fertilizing if you want to. I think there's something else for fertilizer, so you don't want to use that. Okay. Next kanji, long, and again, this is very common. This is a common kanji, or it's a common vocabulary word. It's going to be called nagai, long. That's his length. Long as in length, not nagai. Also says leader, so it's like cho. You hear it like cho something. It's like this is a guy in like cho. Let's see, chonan. Leader or first in the series. Okay, so here's some words it uses. Chojo, eldest daughter. And also, chonan would be eldest son. Chosho, strong point, merit, advantageous, the strongest point. Seicho, growth, growing into adulthood, growth or increment. All right, so quite a few words use this kanji. Here it is going to learn is hairpin or comb, and underneath he's going to describe it, instead of being clothing, he's going to call it hairpin. The geisha with long hair uses ornate comb and a lacquered hairpin to bundle it up. So yeah, long hair, comb to straighten it out, and the hairpin. So let's learn, when we get to Isaac, we'll cover that as the hairpin. So we have turn, hearing, flip, clan, fur, decrease, tail, lock of hair, home, consign. Here we have his tail feathers. We're going to need to learn this for when we get to horse, but we'll, or I think we might not be learning horse, but we'll learn a kanji that uses horse as a primitive. Tail feathers, that's also for bird. Do, falsehood, hairpin. Okay, so here we have hairpin. It kind of looks like a scarf. Yeah, only difference is that first stroke. It's not using the person stroke. You're using the what's kind of like the farming hoe. All right, so let's delete this real quick. So let's learn hairpin. So hairpins, it's like he was saying again. It's kind of like scarf, like this, but gonna do one, and then do the kind of like the hoe. All right, that's hairpin. Now also, what we're gonna do is this first part. And we're probably going to get to it, is comb. Let's see. So there's hairpin. Now we're going to do long. So comb is going to be vertical line 1, 2, 3, then the mixed in with the hairpin. And we're saying right there, it has a relative primitive as abbreviated form, similar to it's like the bottom of, if you see it like eat or good, bottom of good, and that's what's happening here. And the top part can be abbreviated as well. Let's mane of an animal. So let's do this. First thing we're going to do is long. Alright, so we're going to do the comb. So think of it, long hair, it's got to be fixed with a comb. We'll just do, alright, so 1, 2, 3 strokes. Then we want to do the hairpin. So we got the comb, 2, 3, then we want to do the hairpin. We'll do this in 2 parts. 1, 2, 3, do the hairpin, and then the final thing. So there's the comb, long hair. Take care of with the comb, and then held up with the hairpin. And you see this part right here, what he was saying is that you're going to see 2 ways of writing this. One is the abbreviated form, kind of like we did with, remember, like for silver, or good, or eat, you know, it has this little bumper. That's what's happening again. So it's going to have this right here, and then, well, actually, yeah, it looks like that's this is replaced with the mu itself, so it's a little bit different, but yeah, because so yeah, you do the top part the same, and then the bottom part here you're just going to do mu, and be good. Also, what he's saying is that sometimes you'll see just the top part, as in 1, 2, 3. You'll just see that long. He's saying this is called like a mane, or a mane of hair, like on the lion or a horse mane. Yeah, right there. Alright, so now we have his long. Next kanji. Simple. This is not simplicity. This is simple. A little bit different. So that's why I'm saying not the other kanji. Simple could mean one, a single, merely. Simple. Let's see. We have his hitoe, one layer, single, one fold. Tandoku. Second word. Soul, independence, single, solo flight. Tani, first word, unit, denomination, credit. Second word, unlined kimono, tani, tani. Kantan, this is a very common vocabulary, kantan. It literally means simple. So simplicity, simple. Kantan, simple. Professionally, now here we're going to learn is like owl, which is the little bird claw in the field, and we're going to refer to it as owl. The little 3 strokes here that's on top of like the schoolhouse, that's the owl, which I guess for in the U.S. especially childhood, you can associate owls with learning. So an owl referring to a schoolhouse, so I guess you can understand how that could be owl. Perched atop a needle, owl perched on a brain atop a needle, simple experiment. We'll see about that. Let's see what Isaac has to say. So we got long, lengthen, notebook, dilate. Hair of the head, that's kami. Unfold, miss. Think like. Now we have here's owl. This is different. Yeah, this is different. Let me make sure. Okay. See the strokes that they're going. 1, 2, 3. That's a little different than what we have been doing. We were doing. No, it's the same. It's Su. So yeah, so this is basically Su abbreviated. Top of the schoolhouse. And the owl has something to do with it both. So it's a bird of prey, but also associated with popular. Yeah, so it's like he was saying, it's associated with learning. So just as we've already said this, so like for it's like su, so it's 1, 2, 3, su. So it's katakana for su, abbreviated. All right, so this is owl. If it had the drop 1, 2, 3, it's vulture or bird claws. But it, by itself, owl. O-W-L, owl. And we already know field and should be field, and the strokes are going to be a little different. So anyway, it says owl and then fruit, which is going to be sun and trees. So fruit is sun and trees. So let's see what he has. Yeah, so I like that. I like owl and fruit for nest. So owl gathers up a fruit, puts it in his nest. I mean, that should be a pretty good visual there. I liked it better than this story here, which is a professorly owl top of brain. Because this isn't brain. Brain would be needle. This is not that. The strokes are different. In fact, here, let's show you the strokes. Okay, so you see it there, 1, 2, 3, kind of like the su. Do the sun, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then do the needle, or 10, if you need to. And this becomes, that's not fruit. Okay, I'm looking. God damn it. Okay, sorry, I was looking at nest. I'm sorry. Apologies. Simple. Here is simple. Yeah, sun, and needle. Okay. Okay, so that's simple. So here we have is owl breaks in during the daylight. Since he's hunting at night, he's known as a night predator. So it makes sense that he needs to build his home during the daytime. So there he is in the sun, and he's picking up a bunch of needle or pine needles in order to build his nest or something. A simple way of building his nest. A simple way to construct it. Okay. I guess that's one way to look at it. So let's do for simple. So first thing is we want to do the owl, and it's the owl and the sun, because again he's building during the daytime because he hunts at night. Alright, so a simple owl has a simple plan to build during the daytime, and you could say, and it's like either a needle and sticks at a time. So you say it's like both one stick and one needle at a time. Well, it helps if I did the owl part, then sun, then there. And again, this is not fast. This is sun and needle, or however you want to look at it. So owl, sun, needle, or owl, sun, and 10. If you want to say sun and 10, referring to 10, maybe use some type of mentality for that, you can. But sun and needles, I guess, if you want to say about a simple way of building his nest is during the daytime using needles, pine needles, and that would be a smart owl. So simple. Now we're going to learn this is kanji for bird, and then they replace the tail feathers with a mountain, and this becomes island. So if you ever heard the word Iwo Jima, this is the Jima of Iwo Jima. So island, and it literally is island. So Japan is an island nation. So Kunijima, Shimaguni. So here it is, Shima, island, territory. Oh yeah, okay, different, but yeah, territory of a prostitute or organized crime gang. There you go, your turf. But we'll just say right now island, like the geographical island. Shimatani, Shimatami. So I mean, it might be Shimajin, or maybe or Iwajima, Shimaito. I don't know, but it's like island people. Hanto, peninsula. So it's like To. Maybe it's Tojin. The To archipelago, or chain of islands, kind of like Hawaii, chain of islands. So it's like line up islands. Hanto, half islands. Peninsula. Okay, half of it. So it's half an island. Okay, peninsula. That makes sense. Here we have is island is home of a terrible mythical bird rock. Because this is the first part of bird, and then it sits atop the mountain, waiting for the next hapless ship to pass by. In fact, here. Shima, if you see the second kanji, if you can make out the second kanji, you notice like mountains to the side of a kanji that we're going to refer to as bird, and that's I guess the older form of writing Shima, and then it evolved into being this. Let's go to Heisig real quick. So we have simple, war, zen, bullet, really war and bullet. Okay, cherry tree, animal, brain, and it's full kanji for brain. Okay. Trouble, stern, chain. Raise, reputation, game hunting, bird. Okay, so here, let's look at bird first, and yeah, let's look at bird real quick. Okay. Because that's going to lead into island. Alright, so he's saying dove. It's kind of like a weird way of writing white. Okay, and then one long, and then tail feathers. So let's break this all down. So what he's going to say is, like, for he was doing white, what he's want to say is do that with the longer stroke, and then kind of a shorter one here, kind of like you're doing with alright, and that's what he wants there. Next thing he wants to do is add the one. So let's do that. Add the one. Now what he wants to do is add tail feathers. So let's bring up tail feathers first, and I think you saw that before. So it's tail feathers is kind of curved in, kind of like a bound, kind of curved in. Then you're going to be putting a campfire underneath, and that's tail feathers. That was a little bit up above. Did he cover that? Let's see. Tail feathers. Yeah, right here. So you kind of see it's like, it looks like a bound, and then it looks like fire, but they could all go in the, you know, very more smoother direction. Here's the stroke order if you want to verify. That's one way of doing it. See right here, it's like one da 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 da, you know, so nothing complicated. But that's bird. We're not technically we're not teaching that right now. I just wanted to bring this up. So what we want to do is, like, do everything up to that point, because we want to do up to this point, because then we're going to, instead of doing tail feathers under here for bird, we want to do island. So it's white. So you think of island, you want to do white. We'll do some parts again. Kind of longer stroke, kind of like you're doing there. Alright, so there's white. Then you want to add the one. So white dove. The way it was doing for island is like the white bird, which brought back one branch from the, let's say, Noah's Ark. When you had the story of the white dove brought back one stick to show that land was nearby. So there's the one for the one stick. Alright, so we definitely want to do this, and so there's a bird, there's the one stick. Or, yeah, that's very bad. Alright, let me make that prettier. Okay, so there's one. Okay, there. So let's do the one stick. Now we want to do the, alright, so the first part of tail feathers, like the fluffy tail, or I guess a tail. Now, what we're going to say is, like, it's an island. So in Noah's Ark, if you want to do the story of the island that Noah found, so that, you know, he sent out the bird. The bird actually had discovered a mountain, but it looked like an island. Okay, so we want to do that. Now we just want to do his mountain. So we'll do this one more part. So there's the white. There's the one. There's kind of like the, basically doing the bird, if you want to do that. And then we finish it off with mountain. This is island. Very ugly island, but yeah, island. Alright, we got a quick question. Always Bored said hi. Hello, Always Bored. Okay, so this is a very ugly form of island, but yeah, it's island. White, one, tail, and maybe the mountain tail, you know, whatever. Island. You can see how you can work with the proportions if you need to. Next kanji. Now we have is warm. Don't confuse it with warm. This is warmth, like warmth of the sun. Yeah, so warmth. So, and you feel very nice and warm. You know. Here's that atatakai. It has a more positive meaning. Atatamaru, to warm up, to get warmed up. So it has a positive. I always think of it as having a positive meaning to it. Let's see. First word. Danyo, warm or a warm current. Here we have is danbo, heating. Okay. Ondan, warmth. So you got warm and warmth together is warmth. For the word warmth. So here we have a sun. We already see these are bird claws or a flock, but we're going to combine these together to be a flock of birds, because like birds and then friendship. So I just think migrating ducks are a flock of migrating birds. So the sun shines on migrating ducks to restore the warmth of their outstretched wings. Let's say because they're following the sun. Let's say they're migrating in the winter to follow the warmth of the sun, if you want to. So sun and migrating ducks or migrating birds. Let's go with Isaac real quick. So we're here. Okay, so right now we have home, consign, there's tail feathers, due, falsehood, hairpin, long, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, we passed down all that. We were going to, here we are. We were at bird. So we have chirp, crane, crow, vine, pigeon. You can see a lot of chicken. But okay, so here we have is island. Okay, and then we have here is migrating ducks. Yeah, I think of migrating ducks. So we have bird claws or birds right there, and then below that is friend. Yeah. So let's do that first, then we'll work with warmth. So let's do migrating ducks. So we want to do vulture or birds. So probably remember that. So it's, you know, mixture of owl. Then below it, we're gonna combine those. So you could say this could be the group of, and we're gonna make sure a group of, because it's gonna be a friendship or friends or associates. So we want to do, now it's a horizontal, or if you need to, two, for like, because you need at least two birds. Let's say you got, these are like vultures or ducks migrating. You need at least two ducks to count as a flock, or at least two to count as a flock. And then we want to do friendship, or what did I call that? Was companion. And we do the crotch because, again, arm in arm. So what do you call that? Friendship. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, second stroke sure. So birds and friendships, migrating ducks. There you go. Now let's do the next part, which is warmth. There is a sun, which is for warmth of the sun. When they're migrating to follow the warmth of the sun. That should be pretty easy to follow the logic here. So we want to do sun. Alright, so here warmth, definitely think of the warmth of the sun. Then warmth of the sun is because of the migrating ducks. We'll do this in parts. So warmth of the sun. There's the vulture, and then we want to do the, you can say two to represent the flock of migrating ducks. 2, 3, there's that, and then also that second stroke combines with the, again, because they're all friends, they got to be working together, so they're friendship. So migrating birds, friendship. Sun, birds, friendship, or sun, bird, claws, friendship, or vulture, however you want to look at it. Boom. Next kanji. Next kanji. Here we have is nightfall. This is the ban of Bangohan, or konbanwa. How are you doing, ban? Nightfall. And we're going to learn this part here, which is like a version of rabbit, or sign of the rabbit, I think. Maybe rabbit itself. Let's see. Anyway, you got nightfall. Words. So night, and evening, something like that. Dealing with the sun not being there. The sun went bye-bye. Here we have is banka. Fifth word, banka. Late summer, 6th month of the lunar calendar. Here we have is konban. Tonight, this evening. That's when you hear it's konbanwa for good evening. It's like, yeah, this evening. Konban. Here we have is soban. And this is early soban. Sooner or later, eventually. So it's the early and evening. So sooner or later. Soban. That's kind of cute. I like how you got quite a few words that are just pairing either two similar words together, so you get the actual version of that word, you know, with the two kanjis together that were similar. Also doing opposite meaning of the kanjis. Kanjis was similar, or that seem to have opposite meanings, and it means like give and take, sooner or later, highs and lows, back and forth. You know, it's kind of cute how Japanese vocabulary will work that way. And with knowing kanji, it makes even more sense, because you understand how the kanjis are working, that they do contain a meaning or a flavor. Alright, so this is Bon. So we already see sun, and we're going to learn bound up. We see it looks like a sideways day, and then human legs. We're going to work with that. That's going to be, we're going to see what that is. So here we have is warmth, not warm, warmth. Beautiful woman, abet, slacken, belong, entrust, not trust, entrust, accidentally, interview, foolish, corner, mountain goat, inverted, model, mount, steel, howser, sturdy, tin can, pottery, condor. You can see we're skipping a lot. No, or swing, no chanting, or no drama. The concerning, skunk, kind of looks like a version of pig. Skunk, sociable, groundbreaking, excuse. Here we are. This is what we want. This is called excuse. And we're going to put this with, but when we think about, we're going to think about sort of rabbit, which is an old form of a character, if there was a little dash of it. Alright, so we're going to learn this. We're going to learn rabbit. It's let's delete this. All right, so we're gonna say rascally rabbit. So I always say like if you knew Bugs Bunny. So that's how I'm gonna think of it. Bugs Bunny. He's always trying to be tied up by Elmer Fudd. All right, but you know, maybe Bugs Bunny always has an eye out for him, or a sunny eye. Somebody say a sunny eye. He has a. If you've ever seen the cartoon eye, maybe that's what this will be representing. You know, sideways eye. All right, and if you know Bugs Bunny also is again he walks around on human legs, or so we'll do the peg leg and the clubfoot. So this is Rabbit or Bugs Bunny. I don't even know if do millennials know about Bugs Bunny? Yeah, they gotta know about him. It's not that old, right? I know it's an old cartoon, but you know, again, they try to keep it recent. Okay, so now we want to do is evening. All right, so you want to kind of bring out. You can just use a rabbit if you want to. In fact, what they're saying, like for here, I think what he was mentioning is that it was the older form of rabbit, which was Usagi is rabbit, but it was like that little dash there, then becomes rabbit. So bound, sideways sun, and legs. Now, if you think of rabbit like trickster, if you want to bring up Loki from, because again, Bugs Bunny is traditionally the trickster character, and Loki in Norse mythology is the trickster god. He's the one who fools the others. There's also some other gods in various other religions or mythologies that deal with tricking people into doing something. Bugs Bunny is a trickster. So if you want to apply that, so if you want to, Bugs Bunny tricked the sun to go down, so it made it nighttime earlier. So if you want to say, what was it again? What was the word is? So here you have excuse, but we're going to think of it as being elude. So excuse, so that's like a trickster, oddly enough. Elude, here we have is nightfall, sun and rabbit, so nightfall. So he didn't just make the sun go down, he made it fall and it became night immediately. So it was like bright in the noontime, so it was nightfall. So think of nightfall, it's like the sun was out there and it was tripped up by the wascally rabbit, Bugs Bunny, and the sun fell down into night, so it started to be nightfall. So we want to do sun, bound, sideways sun. So like the sun fell down on its side, if you want to keep that little visual, and tied up, so the night lasted longer, so that Elmer Fudd couldn't be hunting Bugs Bunny much. Alright, and that's nightfall. Next kanji. Already. Exertion. So we got Bugs Bunny again. I just imagine like Bugs Bunny, you know, he hulking out, like he actually becomes this big bodybuilder looking thing. Or maybe he becomes Superman, exertion. Like, so Bugs Bunny, you know, licks or maybe tricked Superman into Bugs Bunny with great exertion actually won a battle against Superman, probably through trickery. You know, you ever know Mixopidalic is another trickster in the DC universe. So you can say instead of Mixopidalic, it was Bugs Bunny that was tricking. But anyway, this is exertion. Sorry, let's start with that. The word is exertion. Exertion. That means to put forth effort. So here is like Benkyo, which is exertion and strength. Exertion and strength. So Benkyo, which is study, diligence, discount, reduction. Benkyo. You'll learn that word soon. Bengaku, study or pursuit of knowledge. Kinben, industry, diligence. Kinben. Also, there's a Kanben Shiteo or something like, give me a break. Okay. Ben. Here's where Isaac comes into play. So he has exertion, final stroke of rabbit. Yeah, he's saying stretched out, and underline the thing for muscle or power. Alright, so let's do this. So when we think of exertion, just imagine the exertion of Bugs Bunny tried to exert, defeat Superman with pure strength. He couldn't, so he, not just exertion of power, but also mental exertion and physical exertion. So we'll compare it. So we do the bound, we'll do the Bugs Bunny in its parts. So it's over here on the side. Okay, there it is, over here on the side. And he was saying there's the two legs. Now remember, this leg is stretched out, and this is showing that he is defeating the power of Superman. Through exertion, Bugs Bunny defeats the power of Superman. All right, so that's so nightfall. Yes, rabbit, nightfall, sign of the rabbit, or excuse, nightfall, and exertion. Yeah, I know we're not learning this kanji yet. That's kind of interesting when you do this and then you go into later you take this course a little later, like for part 2, and you're going to be running into all these primitives, and it goes a lot faster because you already got most of the primitives are in your head, and you actually find out some of these primitives, or you already knew that some of these primitives are kanji in their own right, so it doesn't take too much to, but sometimes it becomes opposite because it's like excuse. You know, it's like you never heard excuse for a while, but you always think of this kanji as being rabbit. You know, in your head, you're always just visualizing it as rabbit, and it just becomes it does happen. It's not like destructive thing, but it's just something to keep an eye out. You know, be careful with how your stories work. Exertion. Now we find out it's horse and owl verification. Okay, so this is verification, effect, or testing. This is the ken of shiken. Okay, so words that use this. Shirushi, a mark, symbol, evidence or trial or a test. Shiken is an examination, a test, a study. Keiken, experience. So we have testing, we have experience. Jiken, experiment. So shiken, jiken. Kenka, okay, we know. Reiken. Ken ga aru. Oh, ken ga aru. I'm not sure about that. Ken ga aru. Reiken. We want the second word. Reiken, miraculous efficacy, miracle, miraculous virtue. Reiken. Okay, I think the easy thing for verification is if you think of the horse, think of the horse that went into the Trojan horse, and you want to make sure is that you verify from after the Trojan horse incident, they want to verify that no other gift horses had Spartans inside of them, so they started poking the horses with ice picks to make sure that whether living or dead, they just want to make sure there are no Spartans inside this living horse or dead horse. It doesn't matter, or toy horse. It doesn't matter. They were always poking it with ice picks to verify that it was safe. Verification. Verify. So horse and ice pick or owl. In the days of yore's team of horses passed a checkpoint, and an ice pick was used to poke the leather binding of the horse. For verification, no weapons were hidden within. So yeah, you say the horse, or you can poke either the horse or what the horse was carrying. Make sure it was safe. All right, let's see what Isaac has to bring up on it. So we have nightfall, exertion, elephant. Okay, a rabbit, pig, elephant, statue, horse. All right, so let's bring up horse first because that's going to lead up into verification, and also I think station is one of the other things. So horse. So you can kind of see it's kind of like long or the comb. So like, but with a stick. So maybe a stick that's tying the mane of the horse, and then we've got the horse feathers, which is, or tail feathers, which is going to be the tail of the horse. All right, so let's do this. Control Delete. Okay, so let's do horse all of its own. So we're going to do kind of like with long, but before we do, so the first two strokes are the same as long, but we want a little stick to hold I'm sorry, think of this as being the mane of the horse, the mane. But in this case, we want a little stick to keep the mane in check. And then we want to finish off the comb. So it's like a stick and a comb. Okay, let me. Okay, and then then we want to do his tail feathers. So horse mane. If you want to, just think of that horse mane with that little stick. That makes it a horse mane. Now we want to do the tail feathers. So we want to do kind of like a binding. Because again, you want to bind up the tail, make it look nice. If you've seen a show horse, you've seen the tail is bound up as well, make it look all pretty. All right, and then we want to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of like campfire. And this is the full thing for horse. We're not learning this kanji, but you kind of have to use horse in these other. You might as well learn it because it's going to be used in all the next 2 kanjis or so. But so here's what we're learning. There's horse, and it could be team of horses. Or if you have to Clydesdale, if you ever knew the Budweiser commercial, there's a big horses. So if you want to, just think of these as a Clydesdale, like a team of horses pulling a wagon or something. So here we have his pony. Verification. This is what we want to do. So team of horses, owl. So you can say this pack of Clydesdale horses going down. You want to verify that they're not carrying any weaponry. Because they're pretty big horses. You don't want them armed as well. They can mess up your day. So we'll do it with that. So we want that in verification. Alright, so let's do team of horses. So, same thing. Actually, let's do it like that. Do it like that. Alright, then do the 1, 2. So, boom. And that's going to be a little distorted. Okay, 1, 2, boom, boom, boom. A little distorted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right there. And then we want to do the owl. Which again, what is the, remember the ice pick. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, which is the, what was it, meeting, ice pick, meeting mouth, and person. I forgot the little story I had for owl. Okay, so we have the meeting, we got the little mouth, then we want to, you know, again, and, what was I trying to say? What was it? Say, I mean, owl. There's a meeting, there's a mouth, and you just like stab people in the mouth with an ice pick. I forgot what the little story I did for the owl, but it's alright. But anyway, this is, let me do it one more time. Alright, we'll do it one more. So again, down, cross, finish off the comb, do the tail feathers of the horse, then do the owl. Alright, and this is verification, verification. Using that on the team of horses, verification. Next kanji. Now we have his horse and flute. Horse and shakuhachi, and shaku flute. Station. So anyway, this is station, train station. Yeah, pretty much train station. Eki. Like here we have Eki Cho, station master. Eki Ten, stagecoach. Here we have his Eki, station. Kamotsu Eki, freight or depot. Alright. So yeah, pretty much his train station. Now here's a story, if you visited Japan, this kind of makes sense. Anyone living in Japan knows that the train station plays little melodies when the train is about to depart. In ye olden days, okay, before the days of shit I'm making up, when horses and carriages arrived for transport, the carriage driver would play a little melody on his flute to let passengers know the carriage was arriving at the station or departing from the station. Okay. So yeah, so horse and flute station. So when they play, maybe the flute helped calm down the horses, get them ready to leave, whatnot, and also to inform the passengers. So yeah, horse and flute, shakuhachi flute. Okay, here's where Isaac has to come into it. So here we have verification, we have equestrian, parking, drive. Here we have a station, team of horses, shakuhachi. Nothing new there, and let me look at the stroke order. Alright. Okay, so we got that 1, 2, 3, ba 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 ba. Alright, so here we have it. So remember, kind of like we're doing flag for flute, but it's like a, you know, pirate flag with that little thing, so that becomes a flute. Now let's draw this. Alright, so let's do the horse. We'll do it again in parts real quick, because I get practice with drawing that primitive again. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're good there. Now we want to do is a flute. 1, 2, 3. And I'll do the flutes in its parts. Oh, sorry. So 1, 2, there it is, and then finally there. And this is station. If that wasn't obvious, I'll do it one more time. Alright, so alright, then remember, kind of like you're doing flag right there, and then this is station, eki. Next kanji. Okay, I think this is used 2 or 3 times. So first thing is we're going to do is ability. So this is called ability, talent, skill. Don't confuse it with skill, which is the shi, the little ten and crotch, which is skill. This is ability. What is skill? Yeah, okay, finger, ten, and crotch. Don't confuse it with the two. So this is ability, talent, skill, capacity. Here it is, no, talent, gift, function, no theater. No ryoku, ability or faculty, your first word. Could also mean brain power, but that's a different kanji. Geino, public entertainment, accomplishments, attainment. Okay. We have kono, Now it's merit and ability. So effect, efficacy, virtue, and not seeing anything else. Okay. There was that was gay. No. So there's a gay of what was that? Throwing flowers in whatever. Throwing flowers in here. Yeah, I was thinking of geisha. Yeah. So here we have is elbow, flesh, sitting down, or spoon and spoon. There may be some different stories on how this works. Well, I think he was saying amputated, elbow and flesh, so maybe it's amputated amputee. You know, somebody had their arms cut off. Thinks if you think of the scene from 300, there's people with their arms cut off with blades attached. It's kind of a weird thing, and then you have a, you know, how is he eating with the, you know, but he replaces a blade in each hand with a spoon in each hand. He has the ability to eat. If you want to go with that kind of visual. The amputee has no hands, but only stumps of flesh beneath his elbows. To give him the ability to eat, he has 2 spoons implanted in each arm. He has 2 spoons implanted, 1 in each stump, or 1 on each side. Okay, so ability to eat. Elbows, flesh, so amputee, elbow and flesh, and then spoon and spoon, so in each wrist can be put a spoon to allow him to eat. Alright, visual, weird, but you got the story memorized. That's more important. So there you got the elbow, the flesh, so that's amputee, spoon in one stump, spoon in the other amputated stump, ability to eat, accomplished. Then we're going to learn attitude. Okay, we got there. Let's see what Isaac has to say. Alright, so we're at station. Here we have this boisterous, burdensome, wonder, fervent, inflation, tiger, tora, captive, skin, void, frolic. You can see we're skipping over a lot of kanji here at the end. Uneasiness, prudence, drama, tyrannize, dear, recommend, jubilation, lovely, bear. Here we are. Whoa. Did we skip something? Why did he put ability before? Never mind. I'm not going to ask. Okay, we'll just ability should come first. Then we'll worry about attitude next. So let's do this. Okay, so again, think of amputee. So we're thinking of amputee. So we got the elbow. So amputee, which is has a flesh cut off at the elbow. So now he's in this case is double. So you think of ability. Who has double amputee have the ability to eat? So he's gonna sit down with 1 spoon in 1 arm connected to 1 stump, and sit down with and then he has another spoon in the other stump. Now he has the ability to eat. Ability. So elbow, flesh, spoon, spoon. Elbow, flesh, spoon, spoon. Ability. Next one's going to be a little faster. This is the attitude. Now, condition, figure, appearance, the voice of verbs, attitude. So here we have his zama, mess, a sorry state, plight, sad state. It could also mean te, appearance, air, condition. Naughty, a style or way or form, appearance. So I don't know if this is. Let's look at some words it uses. Maybe we get in luck and it all makes sense. Let's see. Do we have third word? Tai say. Attitude. There you go. Conditions. Preparations. Tai say. Here we have is kei tai. Not the phone. This is the third word. Kei tai. Form, shape, or figure. Yo tai. Yo tai. The second word there. It's first entry. Condition. Usually animate. Alright, so we have condition, appearance also, but there's attitude is in there. So attitude. This guy, so here we have his ability and heart. So attitude. A person's attitude can be impressed. He could have a great ability, but if his heart is, he can have attitude if his heart isn't into it. He could do it, but he doesn't feel like doing it. So he has a bad attitude problem. He has a good attitude problem. Not only does he do it, he puts his heart into it. He has the ability to do it, and he improves on it because he puts effort and heart into it. Attitude. Guy has an attitude problem. Lots of ability, but his heart's not in it. You can do the opposite if give it a more positive feeling to it. Give it a more positive story to associate to the kanji. Here's Heisig. He just said ability and heart, so let's do this. Okay. So if you want to, you can say his attitude is great. So you think of a person who's been amputated. Double amputee, and again, he has the ability to eat, which we've already established. He has the ability to eat, and we'll do spoon on top of spoon. All right, but not only that, he has a great attitude. Despite his situation in life, he put a lot of heart into it. He has a great heart, to overcome his situation. make and live a essentially a normal life, despite the situation that he has to eat with amputate hands and spoon in each hand. Okay, so we have ability, attitude more emotional, so hence the heart is associated with it. Next kanji, send off. Now this is going to be, I like to think of this being the golden calf. If you know your if you know some biblical stories from Christian and Jewish mythology, I think there was a character called Moses, and he had went up, if you remember the one for commandments, the 10 commandments, the 2 tablets and 1 in each hand, but now we're going to talk about is the golden calf. When he was up there getting that, supposedly the people he was guiding went and made a golden calf, something to worship. So this little thing here I usually visualize as being a golden calf, some type of statue of a bull or calf, something with probably a golden bull, with horns. You can also use anything else, but anyway, this is called send off. So this can mean to send something off. Also can mean to escort, to go along with. So that's what okuteku means. I'm going to go with you. Mo yoru soi ne okuteku. Okuru. So to escort. I think that's more like for escort. And here you have is sobetsu, first word, farewell, to send off. Go to the train and say bye-bye, see you later. Whole soul, second word, broadcasting. Third word, whole soul, sending an emperor off. Ooh, that's cool. Sobetsu, do we have any others? No. Then we have as un soul, the second word there, un soul, transport, freight, or shipping. Okay, so again, sending off something. A little bit different than dasu or deru. So send off. So send off to a new church. The golden calf is made by the pagan church members. They then send it off down the road. Send off. To maybe whatever you say. Also, it's like to send off whenever you got the idol of this pagan church, and it have to be a golden calf or golden bull, golden calf, and then again, they want to send it off down the road to promote their religion, if you want to do it that way. Send off. And they're escorting it along the way. They're going to stay with it, delivering it. Let's do this. Isaac. Anyway, so we got ability, attitude. Here we have a sign of the tiger, performance, sign of the dragon, embarrassed, quake, shake, with child, pregnant, lips, agriculture. In fact, for this guy here, I've been using Bruce Lee for sign of the dragon. Let's see, agriculture, concentrated. Here we have his golden calf. And he mentions the same thing, story of Moses. So let's do golden calf first, then we'll do it the send off, which is road and golden calf. So Control Delete, and it's fairly simple. It's what is it? It's like heaven and low horns. So low horns of the, so you can say low horns right there of the calf, or what the calf will grow up to be. Maybe it still has little horns, and then represented also with heaven. So we do the little 2 strokes there. So it's a calf associated with heaven, so golden calf, or like some type of religious idol, religious idol. So now we want to do send off, or again, you want to send your idol off down the road to. Well, let's do this in parts. So we're going to do send off. So we're going to send off that golden calf down the road, right? And send off golden calf down the road, and it's like send off, and also means to escort, but you want to escort it to be sure it's like treated well, it's not vandalized. Send off. Fine. Okay, now connection. There is touch and contact. There's also 2 other words dealing with that, touch and contact, but this is a connection, a barrier, a gateway involving, concerning something. So this is a kan of kankei. So here we have a seki, a barrier or a gate. It also could be honorific added to names of sumo wrestlers. That's interesting. Kansetsu. Now here we have is second word, kansetsu. Joints, knee joint, elbow joint. So it's like a connection and node. So elbow joint, that makes sense. Okay. Kankei, first word, relation, connection. So that's like a person in charge. So connection, person in charge, relation to it. Okay. You just say kankei nai if it means not, you're not related. Anto wa kankei nai. and you're not, it's nothing concerning you type thing. Here we have is kansuru, to concern, to be related. So this is in connection to. So this is in connection as in making a connection. This connection as in connection to someone else, in relation to someone else. So there's is concerning. So that type of connection. Now here for the story, I used like the gate. So maybe it's, you can say as a connection. I was like, I imagine like the gates of the, anyway, like both these gates, there was like a golden calf, or so here's a golden calf on each of those gates, and the horns made a connection to show that the gates were shut. And that's just kind of like how they do it. They're put together to where the horns make a connection. Kind of a visual for if you want to do that. You can also, if you want to make it for like concerning something, you can say the golden calf was on the door of each gate to tell what was connection of what the on the other side, what is it on the business in connection to or in relation to. You know, well, obviously it's in relation to the worship of the golden calf. Let's see what Isaac has to say. He already did that. He did send off. He did connection, gates, golden calf. Okay, no story there. Let's do it. So again, let's do the gates. So gates. It's always the long stroke here. Boom, boom. Do that one. Do the other gate side of the gate. Kind of like a spam. Boom, boom. Then we need to put the golden calf. Where do these gates go to? Where are these gates connected to? Oh, they're connected to the Golden Calf Company. I think if you saw, what was it? It was a Kevin Smith movie. How did I forget the name for it? But yeah, it's like where the two angels, or they're going after the two angels are trying to bring about the apocalypse for whatever. God. Great, I'm feeling silly to kind of forget the name of it. But anyway, in there is like the scene dealing with the burger that they, and it's, again, they're saying this, that they're having the world is worshiping this false idol, which is the mascot for the burger company. Okay, if you want to do that as well. connection. But anyway, okay, what? This is almost over, right? Yeah, this is the last one. Okay, so this is the last kanji. Kanji number 555. Congratulations. We are done. So that was yeah, just 1 minute, 10 seconds over the hour. So this is, and I was talking a lot at the beginning, so sorry about that. I was jibber jabbering too much. All right, 1 hour. We are done. This is, wow, 30 hours later. 30 hours later, 555 kanji. If you've been following this course, congratulations. Hopefully, again, you start putting, or hopefully during this time you've been watching some Japanese things, either Japanese subtitles or manga or whatnot, just looking at stuff, and like you're starting to see these symbols pop up all over the place. Some with hiragana, katakana following along with them. You wouldn't know, maybe not how to pronounce them or anything, but again, you're seeing these put to use. Now we're going to be systematically adding. We're going to use them with grammar. There's going to be some, in the grammar part, there's going to be some kanji you haven't been taught through this course, but I don't think it'll be too difficult to learn it on your own. You kind of seen how we, you already got your primitives in your head, so you'll probably think of the stories for it. Same thing with, nandake. But when we get to vocabulary, though, the benefit of the vocabulary is that at least the vocabulary words don't use kanji you haven't been taught. Now, the example sentences for the vocabulary will have kanji you haven't been taught, but don't worry about that. The main purpose of that sentence is to help list your listening, and can you, at least when you hear the sentence, can you find the correct sentence among a group of 8? But also you'll start learning the meaning of those sentences through repetition, and as your studying of grammar improves and reading of other Japanese. So this is all structure. Don't aim for 100% perfection. Don't try to make the course harder than it was designed to be. Because some people try to make that mistake. Like, they're going through this kanji course here, and they're probably like writing down every example word that happens to be in the course. It's like, don't do that. It's not about learning those vocabulary words yet. Save that for later. Plus all the words that you kind of heard for the hiragana, katakana. If you did the SGJL 01 and 02, those you'll start figuring out what those words are in grammar and also in vocabulary, because those will start popping up as well. Even though originally they were being there as for testing your knowledge of hiragana and katakana, and pronunciation practice and listening practice for the brief time that was there. All right, so again, great job if you got this far. This is a lot better, and again, for you, you're at a better position than I was when I tried to do this like 8 or 9 years ago, in that I spent 4 to 6 months trying to learn all 2,000 of these kanji in the entire book. And then, of course, he turns out through the magic of diminishing returns, maybe only a quarter of those I used 75% of the time. And then another quarter of those, so like half of them I used like 90% of the time. It was insane when you think about it. And so that meant I learned 1,000 hours. I spent 60 hours learning something that might have been useful only 8% of my time, maybe. Because again, most of your common words are going to be used more of your common kanji, the words that you're going to be using like a lot of times. So it's just a way in which it's one of the things, like my experiences back then helped shape why I designed the course the way I did here. And hopefully you as a student get the benefit of it. So if you never even bother with these videos, that's fine. Again, a lot of people just use the books or use the stories provided on kohi.com, which again, no problem. And let's exit out of here. So I'll tell you what, let's look at the official time. Oh, sorry. Let's look at the official time. This is roughly going to be how much time I spent towards, come here. Yeah, so here's remembering the kanji. So it came out to about 30 hours, 27 minutes. So 30, yeah, so basically 30 hours. And that was over, again, 37 lessons. So roughly, maybe about averaging about 50 minutes a lesson, roughly. Because again, early on they were like 30, 40 minutes, and then, in fact, they were only like 30 minutes. But as it got more complicated, you had to like learn more the way primitives work. It got lengthier and lengthier. Plus, I changed up and tried to stress about showing words. Alrighty, so what we did, that's 15 characters, that's all done. I guess the only thing left for me to do is, I'm going to take a quick break because I got to hang out some, I'll play a video of what we've been studying. And hopefully when you see the subtitles, you maybe only see some kanji that you recognize. You know, you'll definitely be seeing hiragana, katakana, and when you've been looking at that, you're seeing kanji. Just for fun. And then I'll come back. I'm going to finish up all these reviews, spend my time, and then use the rest of the time reading this right here out loud, just for my own practice sake. And what I need to make sure to do is like start making a habit of, again, watching at least an hour or two something Japanese related and reading it. Try to read at least a manga a day. I need to get into that practice. And the equivalent of reading a manga is kind of like reading a chapter of a book. So read one chapter from a book or reading a single manga, which can take about an hour or two depending on your level. You learn you can do faster as you get better at reading. Like you don't vocalize it, you see it and you're just understanding what it means. That comes with time. You'll find out you can actually read pretty fast in Japanese once you get all the quite a few things internalized. Alright, so again, I'll play this video, be back and take a little quick break, maybe get some coffee, but I'll need to go and put out some laundry. Again, I know it's July, but the sun is shining bright, it's feeling warm, and it saves electricity. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, good. Alright. Hopefully this is not too loud. What are we doing? Hanazawa Naoki. That's Hanzawa Naoki. Okay, view playlist. Oh yeah, I'm doing the first episode again. Alright, so 16 minutes, we'll be right here. Alright, so I might be a little over I usually just do this for 4 minutes. I'm going to have to probably take a little bit longer because of the laundry thing, but that won't take too long. Then I'll be back. Okay.
フィズリーのカリスマ編集者ソフィー・ルクレールが当社の新作発表会にスペシャルゲストとして参加していただけることになりました。すごいじゃない。やっぱり石関さんって素敵じゃない。このままだと誰かに取られちゃうかもよ。いいの？
仕事相変わらずみたいだな。まさしが心配してたぞ。
兄貴が心配してんのは俺じゃなくて会社ね。社長、
新作スイーツを試食していただきたいのですが。
お前が思うようにやりなさい。今は全部副社長であるお前に任せているんだから。
じゃあ俺出かけるわ。
女待たしてるからさ。宗師、今度の新作発表会大丈夫なんだろうな。
大丈夫だろう。お兄様の選んだ社員は優秀ですから。
失敗は許さないからな。
はいはい。なあ兄貴、マジでその新作うまいと思ってんの？
当たり前だろ。
あ、そう。まあどうでもいいや。
あいつはいい加減すぎます。新作社長も食べてみてください。
大家さん、こんにちは。ねえねえ、ここの大野さん、男連れ込んで同棲してたでしょ。そうみたいですね。頭きたから追い出してやった。ざまみろだ。え、あんた大丈夫よね。今時の女と違って軽くないからね。ね。なんで？
はじめまして、彼女。
え？ロボット！
フロンスヘブン社の波切りですが、初期メンテナンスにお伺いしました。ああ、すぐ終わりますから。
そんなことよりこれなんで動いてるんですか？
動力は電気。
は？
自家発電による自動充電機能を搭載してるんで、電気代はかからないよ。
信じられない。本当にロボットなんて。
修理完了しました。あのね、乱暴に扱わないで。精密機器だから。
はい。
5日間は無料お試し期間です。じゃあ、あとはお若い2人で、まあ楽しんで。
困ります。だいたいここ同棲禁止だし。
どうせご冗談を。ただの家電製品です。
家電製品？
見た目が人間らしいので勘違いされる気持ちもわかりますが、ただの優れた家電製品です。お客様は洗濯機ちゃんやテレビくんと同棲してるのですか？これも同じ。ただの家電製品です。ああ、一つご注意を。当社及び当社商品に関し他言されますと違約金が発生しますので、くれぐれもご内密に。
この水にってちょっと待ってください。釣りにしたり。
どう？似合ってる？
似合ってるわけないじゃん。
彼女名前は？
来ないで。伊沢リー子ですけど。
伊沢リー子。可愛い名前だね。よろしく、リー子。
来ないで。
リー子ってすっごく可愛い。俺超タイプ。
ありえないんですけど。この道まっすぐ行くと公園があるから、そこで寝て。
いい子公園好きなんだ。一緒に行こ
行くのは君だけね。
う。なんで？一緒に夜のデートしようよ。
Alrighty, what do we got? Oh, way over. Okay, 2 minutes over. That's not too bad. Start at 16.
中入れてよ。
Let's see. Put it at 20 minutes or something. Okay. Stop you. Alrighty, and we are back. Got 2 people watching in the stream. This is where it gets a little boring because this is going to be me doing my reviews. This is originally how I started doing the stream, just to kind of give a reason, just to, for whatever, kind of like a group study / whatever. I talk if I needed to. Bring it up. Just kind of evolved now to where it's, you know, I still need to do my reviews. Again, I do need to learn Japanese, otherwise I can't. I don't want it to happen what happened last time, which is I got to a certain point and quit. And then it, you know, even when I try to get back to where I was before, I mean, I want to get where I was before when I left Africa, and then I want to go beyond that as far as my raw knowledge goes. And then of course I need to get my habit of really is enjoying stuff in Japanese. I still haven't gotten that back into that feeling yet. It's just that I'm still attracted to more U.S. media. I'm still reading too much of Reddit. Now there are Japanese versions of Reddit called New Soku-R or New SOKU-R, which is like a version of 2chan. I mean, 2chan's a much better version of 4chan. It's not the cesspool that is 4chan, but 2chan's interesting. It does have some cesspool qualities to it, but for the most part, it's a good little conversation tool for people. And then New Soku was just the idea of trying to, some groups wanting to migrate to using the Reddit format. And yeah, so that's it. You know, it could be good, like get in the habit of reading, you know, the NHK Easy, you know, read the 3 articles every day. I need, you know, kind of make it a habit, and I haven't been doing that. I'm guilty of that. But yeah. 'Cause, I mean, really, I feel like the reason I'm not as good as I used to be is the big thing is I stopped having fun in Japanese. You know, I just started having more fun in English media as opposed to Japanese media. I think that's the biggest thing. I know what initiated that because I was like only watching Japanese things for the longest time. It's like I actually was avoiding, and then I think what happened was my wife started watching some American shows because we, you know, she rented from Sataya, which was a video store in Japan, and she did something like House or Bones or Numbers or Lie to Me, but and I tell her, okay, hey, play it with the Japanese dub, and then, you know, Japanese subtitle, you know, keep it in Japanese. But she thought like, oh, I wouldn't be having fun, so she would, you know, turn on the English, and then of course my brain would, these were entertaining shows, my brain was turned on, but it was turned on to the English part of it, not the Japanese, you know. And then soon I just got to where, okay, I started getting the rest of the series and was finishing them all, and it definitely got into Game of Thrones, and, you know, started reading those book series and whatnot. So basically, yeah, I kind of like got out of doing the entertainment or entertaining myself in Japanese, and it just slowly happened. It took a while to get into that whole 2-3 years which I was trying to do it, and then it's easy to destroy it as well. That's when they say, it's like, that's what happens when people move to Japan. They end up ghettoizing themselves into a bubble of English, and they don't really get good at Japanese. Yeah, they study it, they do like I'm doing here, you know, do the lesson and whatnot, but they're not using Japanese for fun. You know, they talk to people in English, they look at the English menus, that are available in Japan. They watch English shows, even if they have the, you know, they don't watch the dubbed version of the movie. They'll watch the English version of the movie with the Japanese subtitles, but they ignore the Japanese subtitles because, again, you know, they're a master of English. They don't have to worry about. It's just, again, you're just not. Your brain's not. Who wants to have fun? Your brain likes to be entertained. Is getting it, but not from Japanese. You know, so if you make it to where your entertainment's coming from Japanese, you tend to get better. And that's the most important part about the whole. This whole Japanese drama immersion is like to try to get you into that as early as possible, try to get you into enjoying an actual rate of Japanese. And you don't have to go to this level. There's hopefully some tools where it's just, you know, hey, you know, when you watch it with subtitles, you know, kind of, yeah, at least the first time you watch it, go through it systematically and, you know, figure out some words and whatnot, and then go from there. I'm doing this for fun, so it's something that the average beginner doesn't have to worry about, and then hopefully teach them how to make it on their own. It's not too difficult to make. You don't even have to go to this level to make it. I mean, just as long as you go in the habit of take a time to, we study a drama. Even if you don't have to do it for every drama, but pick one drama which you want to actually go out and study, and understand it completely. And that's going to be your listening tool. That's going to be the thing that gets you more and more and train your brain to getting into Japanese. And soon when you get to this level of doing this, you can watch a show with subtitles. You might not get 80% of it, but because of your reading ability is strong and your listening ability is okay, you can at least comprehend enough to enjoy the show. And then that improves over time. Again, I do that. But for me to fully enjoy a show, I need subtitles. I need Japanese subtitles because my reading is that strong. Combined with the listening, and I get some passing, but that it does turn into a crutch, and you do have to develop to where you can just follow along just by listening. You want to have that as well. And it might be that even Japanese don't understand other Japanese people. That's why a lot of their talk shows come with subtitles, because they might especially like older people, like following along what an older person is saying can be difficult even for native Japanese. So it's interesting, I'll put it that way. But yeah, Japan is a hyper-literate culture. It is. I mean, bookstores are huge. They're everywhere, and they have texts are everywhere. I think they can read fast. I need to wonder about. I still kind of wonder about that. How fast do they read? Because they try to. You get studies try to downplay Japanese, but I don't even know why the hell am I talking so much? I need to start setting. I'm sorry. Let me get my pen pad out of the way. Get into this. Okay, so we are 194 there, so we'll get that down, and then we'll do. Yeah. Okay. Let's just do 4 of these, and then 10. Okay, doru. Come here. Okay, doru. Doru. Anzen. Come here. What the heck? Anzen.
彼に手紙を渡しました。
彼に手紙を渡しました。彼に手紙を渡しました。渡す。飲む。
飲む。
話すのをやめてください。今朝、事故で電車が止まりました。
今朝事故で電話止まりました。今朝事故で電車が止まりました。駅。Yeah, we learned that kanji today. Eki. Horse and flute. Nendo.
話すのをやめてください。
話すのをやめてください。話すのやめる。話すのをやめてください。昼。
彼の長男は8歳です。
彼の長男は8歳です。Never got 長男。It wasn't 長男。It was 長男。Yeah. 8歳。Long.
この服は300ドルしました。
この服は300ドルしました。この服は300ドルしました。やめる。止める。やめる。Yeah, stop an activity versus an item or a
やめる。
この通りは賑やかですね。
この通りは賑やかですね。この通りは賑やかですね。賑やか。ただ。ただ。And some kanji that use it. ただ。
ただ
Tada. Tadaima. That's the tada of tadaima. Okay. Let's go to. Do 2 of these and then 10 of these, and then we'll repeat again. Bean.
Bin.
Bean. Ikura. Ikura.
いくら
Ikura. Ikura. Okay. We're just going to do 10 of these. This is, oh, remembering the kanji. Okay. That's been a bit. Riot. So that's the tongue and the boot or the hook. You know, riot. You know, clubfoot. Paragraph. So that's a crafting for the head. Craft something for the head. Paragraph. Round. Not that one. Oh, mawaru. Chikuwa wa mawaru. Yeah, it should be not plump. It is that one. Yeah, it is that one. Yeah, no, Babe Ruth. That's right. Stomach. So that's filled rice and body. Okay, rice filled body. Or yeah, part of the body complete. That's the yeah, right there. Rise up. So that's the sun in the sake box. So kind of like saluting the sun. Thanks for your promotion. Sand. So that's few. So it's stone and few, or a few good men. Plane. So that means the sparkler or the sparks or the candle sparks and the saber. To plane or flatten out something, smooth out something. Neck, kubi, so that's the giraffe horns on top of the elephants, pretending to be the giraffe. The neck, elephant's nose, the neck of the giraffe. Yeah, right there. Fortune telling, so that's Harry Potter in the mouth. That Professor Trelawney or something. Was it Trelawney? No, Trelawney was the was for plants. Let's see. Good. I think we can exit that. Okay. Let's go back to here.
地図を見て来てください。
地図を見て来てください。地図を見て来てください。広い。短い。長い。the 長さ。There's the kanji if you said following today.
彼女はいい友達です。
彼女はいい友達です。
安全が第一です。
安全が第一です。There's number one. 第一。Or ichiban, not number one. It's like the most important. 世界。
私には全くわかりません。
Not at all. Oh, wow. どれ? Dochira.
Dochira.
Dore is out of 3. Dochira out of 2. Hoka. And then Taz be the Chinese.
Hoka.
Hoka. Okay.
Hoka ni hohou ga arimasen.
Hoka ni hohou ga arimasen. Hoka ni hohou ga arimasen. Gaikokujin. Gaikokujin. Gaikokujin.
Gaikokujin.
Gaikokujin.
もっとゆっくり話してください。
もっとゆっくり話してください。もっとゆっくり話してください。ゆっくり。帰国。帰国。帰国。
帰国。
帰国。道。
道。
道。外国。
外国。
外国。値段。値段。And if you were studying the hearing what it says, so there's the price and there's grade, or in this case differences. So price, cost.
値段。
Price grade.
この道路は3年前にできました。
この道路は3年前にできました。Completed. この道路は3年前にできました。
5ページの最初を見てください。
5ページの最初を見てください。5ページの最初を見てください。最初。
それ全部ください。
それ全部ください。全部。全部。Awesome. Okay, 160. Let's finish the 20 of the kanji. Alright, that's the sparklers on legs, rays of light. Yep, there we go. Illuminate. Sun seduction on the campfire. Illuminate. So shining on one side, campfire on the other to illuminate the thing from both sides. Obey. That's the floating down the river, the heads of people if you don't obey. So, or stream and head. Also for obey, you think of stream of heads. Just imagine like if someone's, think of the crowd that obeys the great leader, someone who has a big head. But yeah, you always know like when they obey, it's like a stream of nods, like they're all nodding in obedience to the leader. If you want to go that visual, fathom. So that's a watery rule. So fathom is to measure, whereas rule is like a regulation. So water and rule. So it's fathom. Icicle. So that's ice. It's a drop of ice. It's frozen. A drop frozen is an icicle. Drop of water frozen. Thick. Toi. So this is like a thick leg. So a fat person, that's plump. Thick. So this is thick skin. So it's on a cliff. Son and child, yeah, so the child put on to develop a thick skin. The child is abandoned on the cliff, burned with the sun. Plump, that's a fat drop. Yeah, right there. Drop of sweat, if you want, off the fat man. Eternity, so that's like count the drops of water in a pool. For eternity, a drop of water would be in for eternity. Focus. You want a few things. Focus your eyes on a few things. So yeah, right there. A few. Nice. pressure. So that's under a cliff, crumbles into dirt under pressure, or it'll be crumbled into dirt. Okay, next up, river, not stream, so this is water and can. A bunch of cans floating down the river, if you want to say 10 cans, if you want to, floating down the river. Vice, this is the wealth of the general is protected by the wealth of the admiral protected by the vice admiral's sword, saber. Doctor, so this is specialist, so this is a needle, grenade, drop, and then glue gun. So remember, needle, grenade, drop, then the glue gun. That's the special, or doctor or specialist. State, so that means the island nations, if you need to, like the little drops, like drops within the stream. Swim. If you don't have swimming water, you'll be in there for eternity. Yeah. Fishing. So that's water and fish is fishing. Easy enough. Did I already teach fish? I think we did. Disaster. So that's water and a march of fire. Yeah, march of fire. Water is used. The disaster is coming, so you use the water to stop the disaster of a march of fire or something like that. Where are we at? Oh, wrong disaster. I was thinking destruction, so that's disaster. Okay. See, that's disaster. Let's see destruction. Stop that. So tell you what, let's do you. Copy. Let's do destruction. Destroy. There we are, destroy. Not. Okay. And copy. That should make it a little easier for me. Okay, cool. So that's disaster. Zai. What's the way? Exquisite. Woman and few. Few good women. Exquisite women. A few exquisite women. Strange. So that's a dog with his head stuck in a tin can. Strange sight. Okay. Or you want to do Doctor Strange. Actually, that was the kind of thing about Doctor Strange. If you saw the movie, like that cape acted like a little dog at times. You know, it's like that was a cute. The cape was a character in and of itself. Lake, watery old flesh. There we are. Mizumi. Okay, next con. That's it, right? Okay, we're done with that. Let's got about an hour left. Should be able to finish all these in an hour. Have some time left over.
遠くに船が見えます。
遠くに船が見えます。遠くに船が見えます。赤い。And there's a kanji we learned.
赤い。
赤い。
すべてのシステムが停止した。
すべてのシステムが停止した。停止した。すべて。システム。消える。消える。
消える。
消す。消える。ため。That's the kanji for it, but stop that. ため。
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 今度はどこに行きたいですか？
今度はどこに行きたいんですか？
日本に住む外国人が増えています。
日本に住む外国人が増えています。増える。増える。日 日本に住む外国人が増えています。
彼女の髪はとても長い。
彼女の髪はとても長い。彼女の髪はとても長い。
彼は毎晩3キロ走っています。
彼は毎晩3キロ走っています。走る。彼は毎晩3キロ走っています。ゆっくり。ゆっくり。
ゆっくり。
ゆっくり。
白は雪の色です。
白は雪の色です。白は雪の色です。
母はまだ外国に行ったことがありません。
母はまだ外国に行くことはありません。母はまだ外国に行ったことがありません。行ったこと。
このケーブルの長さは1メートルです。
このケーブルの長さは1メートルです。メートル。長さ、広い。
彼の家はとても広い。
彼の家はとっても広い。
近く留学する予定です。
近く留学する予定です。近く留学する予定です。米。白い。なくなる。Okay. Now, don't confuse again. Also, this means to pass away. Someone passed away. This is to lose something. Nakusu. Become. Oh, never mind. It was a transitive verb. To lose. Nakusu. Okay, fair enough. I shouldn't have been overthinking. Nakusu.
雨が止みました。
雨が止みました。雨が止みました。雨が止みました。Yamu. So usually the rain stops falling. It's yamu.
コーヒーをもう一杯ください。
コーヒーはもう一杯ください。コーヒーをもう一杯ください。なくす。All right, and that's keep an eye out for the VT if you haven't already. Always keep an eye out for that.
なくす。
Transitive means acting upon something. Intransitive is it's happening to itself. Okay, no agency. Agency, no agency. なくす。
なくす。
All right, let me see if that. Okay, good. Didn't count it as a. Okay, it's 140. So about 4. Say I do roughly 4 every 10 minutes. So this will be about 30 more minutes. So yeah, that's what I'll be having time. And again, if you're watching, you can ask any questions and I'll answer. Because like I said, during reviews, I'm not like concerned about if I talk or something or discuss what the heck's going on. In fact, it might even help me with later on in reviewing. Let's see, what do we got here? Anyway, let me just check what's happening in the. Okay, so let's see. We got a conversation happening here. So let's see. Nothing of interest. And that's the same. No comments there. So okay, nothing's going on there. Let me open a new tab and refresh this. See if anything new popped up because we're at the 2-hour mark. But I'm not going to take a break. I'm just going to finish up the reviews and keep going. And like I said, I'll probably read some stuff. Nothing there. Let's see. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's see what the questions are. I have a question regarding Isho. I could use it like this to state that me and Yuki, or Yuki and I, drink coffee together. Yuki to isho ni. Watashi wa Yuki to isho ni kohi o nomimasu. Yeah. This works well if I only talk to one person. How would I use isho ni if I'm supposed to talk about more than one person? Let's see. Watashi tachi wa. You could just say like a. Watashi tachi wa kohi o no. It could say. If you can imply that. And you also combine them too, like Yuki to Takeshi to Isho. Actually, let's see how the. Yeah, it would be Watashi wa. Yeah, just add the additional to. Probably more better ways of doing it. Let's say Watashi tachi wa, if it's implied of who it is. Sorry if this doesn't belong here. Let's see. I'm interested people try to learn Japanese Pokemon. Wait, what? I've only seen grammar videos on it. Yeah, don't depend on the dictionaries to understand grammar. Go to a grammar book if you're going to have somebody help. And a good thing about helping to understand grammar, and this is probably the reason why I feel like I do need to make a video for Tai Kim. Because there's how he's describing it, then there's how I came to understand it, and how some other, and based on also what I've learned later on. He's obviously, I think Tai Kim's in one now. He teaches Japanese professionally, or as a tutor. I don't know if professionally if he makes a living off of it or not, but that's his thing. But that makes me want to make a video, kind of like I did with the video for the kanji as well. Let's see what else has popped up for here. We'll just go to sort by new. And whatnot. Let's see. Couple of questions about self-study. Oh, hey, that's my thing. So let's look what he has to say. First question on dry. I've been working for a while now learning hiragana and katakana before jumping in the world of vocabulary. I figure that if I can read Japanese first, I can learn vocab more naturally. Yeah, okay. I was wondering if anybody tried this before. Well, yeah, usually I'll put grammar before vocabulary. But to do grammar, you have to learn vocabulary anyway. Next question, a bit more fun. I'm practicing. I screw up a symbol or forget what it means. I normally curse, take a deep breath, try again, but I feel it breaks my flow practicing Japanese cursing in English and going back to Japanese. So the next question is, what are some favorite Japanese curses? Not really curses, like shimata, I guess would be. Let's see what some of the answers were in this, just for fun. And again, I'm just trying to unwind a little bit and then go back into the reviews. Let's see what people are saying, just for fun. Let's see, learning, damn it, kuso, yeah, kuso, jikusho, yeah, shimata. Here, I got intuition told me the opposite would be better. First, learn a few simple words early, good pronunciation, and learn how to write them down. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of what mine is. It's both audio and visually based. So the idea is for writing. Let's see, do kana. Yeah, kana doesn't take long. Vocabulary. And again, I just recommend put vocabulary first. Don't put vocabulary first. Put grammar first, because you're going to learn some vocabulary with grammar anyway. That way, when you do learn vocabulary, you can use it in context. Especially got an example sentence there. You can see the context in which it's being used. It starts making a lot more sense, especially when you figure out about the difference between transitive and intransitive. Which is, again, something that was plaguing me for a long time till I redid my this vocabulary thing, and made it explicit as to which ones are doing what. And then again, when I see one that's intransitive, I immediately think of the transitive version and vice versa, and how it would do it. Just trying to keep it in my head as a habit. Okay. But yeah, these are standard questions. A lot of these stuff repeats itself, and that's what people are saying. That's a good question. And yeah, all right, let's go back to. All right, let's get back to it. Here we go. Kohi, oishii. Mizu, oishii. All right, aji. Aji.
家から学校までは遠いです。
家から学校までは遠いです。不便、遠くて不便。家から学校までは遠いです。
今年の春は暖かいね。
今年の春は暖かいね。今年の春 and there's warmth right there. 暖かい。春。長男. Now it looks like 長男 but none in this case. 長男.
長男。今日はこれらの問題について話し合います。
今日はこれらの問題について話し合います。今日はこれらの問題について話し合います。すべて、I mean, there's すべて. I think in this case it's 全く。
夕食は7時です。
夕食は7時です。夕食は7時です。売れる。白。
電気がついたままですよ。
電気がついたままですよ。電気がついたままですよ。Okay.
この料理は味が薄い。
この料理は味が薄い。Don't say that about somebody's food in Japan. All right. I think that's worthy of the death penalty. Okay. 国。島国です。も
う銀行は3時まで開いています。
銀行は3時まで開いています。銀行は3時まで開いています。開いています。
駅はここから近いです。
駅はここから近いです。駅はここから近いです。遠いです。近いです。ここからあんまり not much あんまり and you might hear it あんまり spoken, you might hear it says あんまり but あんまりあそこあっちあそこ
私の机の上に書類がたくさんあります。
私の机の上に書類がたくさんあります。書類私の机の上に書類がたくさんあります。We're doing ある銀行Silver Go
銀行
Why? Who knows?
彼は歯が白い。
This is how, right? Oh, 白い。彼は歯が白い。Alrighty. 1700. Scowl. 使う。お茶。暮らす。Oh, come back here. 暮らす。
受付でプログラムを受け取った。
受付プログラムを受け取った。受付プログラムを受け取った。受付。
それは最近話題の本ですね。
それは最近話題の本ですね。それは最近話題の本ですね。
このビールはあまり美味しくありません。
このビールはあまり美味しくありません。あまり。このビールはこのビールはあまり美味しくありません。Must have been Coors Light. Like,
お金がほとんどありません。
お金がほとんどありません。ほとんど。お金がほとんどありません。消す。そう、消える、消す。
消す。
消す。夏。夏。
夏。
夏。
駅前に本屋があります。
駅前に本屋あります。本屋があります。駅前に本屋があります。OK。
私は夏が大好き。
私は夏が大好き。私は夏が大好き。
信号が赤に変わりました。
信号が赤が変わりました。変わりました。赤。信号が赤に変わりました。魚。
母は料理が得意です。
母は料理が得意です。母は料理が得意です。得意。
この道をまっすぐ行くと駅です。
この道をまっすぐ行くと駅です。この道をまっすぐ行くと駅です。春。万歳さん。肉。God damn it.
牛肉。
Cow meat. God damn it. I should say beef or cow meat. Pork or pig meat. Oh boy. Okay. Gosh darn it. 牛肉。Okay. 本屋。
今日鍵をなくしました。
今日鍵をなくしました。なくす。今日鍵をなくしました。鍵。牛肉。
赤いバラを買いました。
赤いバラを買いました。And赤いバラを買いました。牛肉. Now it may sound like I got like upset for missing this, and I'm not gonna later chapters or later lessons as I start getting more advanced into it, I'm not gonna get as upset for missing. You got to expect to be missing roughly around 10%. So basically a 90% success rate, 80 to 90% success rate. Probably going to be a little better with these courses than with Anki and whatnot because of how they're designed. But again, expect that. I mean, if it was, this is like, again, I'm at a kind of a special situation because of what I've already covered. So I'm kind of like beating myself up for simple stuff. But yeah, when I actually get to a point where I am legitimately missing, I'm not upset. In fact, I take that as a learning opportunity. That just means, okay, good, I didn't actually learn it. Here's a good chance for me to actually, concentrate on it again. Maybe I went over it too fast the first time. It's yeah. I don't like making silly mistakes like that, which is, niku is meat. I mean, but we want cow meat, or in this case, beef. Niku. Okay, so we're at 100. Got 10 more of these. It's about 20 minutes or so. Ryori.
料理、
料理、無理、
無理。
無理。
今年の夏はクーラーがよく売れた。
今年の夏はクーラーがよく売れた。今年の夏はクーラーがよく売れた。売れる。よく売れた。
魚がたくさん泳いでいます。
魚がたくさん泳いでいます。And there's a yogu swimming. A word we're going to be learning soon.
夕食に牛肉を買った。
夕食に牛肉を買った。夕食に牛肉を買った。
今朝ごはんを作っています。
今朝ごはんを作っています。作る。Come back here. 作る。作る。今朝ごはんを作っています。作る。作る。Batman, the wood saw or the hand saw.
私はこの店によく来ます。
私はこの店によく来ます。私はこの店によく来ます。should be 近所、近所、近所。近所、近所。近く。
近く。
Oh, goodかな。近く。
犬に餌をやった。
犬に餌をやった。やる。犬に餌をやった。And there's 餌 for you to know. It's a feed, like pet food. 餌。餌をやった。What's supposed to be? うちいる。What's the word for that? I know the kanji, but I want to know the word. The Red Rascal asked you a question. What Japanese input system do you use? I use standard Windows IME. So Japanese input method editor. If you go to the regional settings and add a new keyboard, you add it up as one of the things in Japanese, and they'll say the keyboard for it. And so it allows you to either in kana or switch it up. Now it's so it's easy to switch. Okay. I'll do mochi. Yeah. I can't remember what that word is for it. I don't want to. Yo.
Yo.
Okay. Yo. There we go. I'll go with that. Yo.
Yo.
Yo. Chikaku.
近く。
近く。よう。
よう。
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 よう。Alright, so don't care about that part. Okay. Next. Okay.
このパソコンを使ってください。
このパソコンを使ってください。このパソコンを使ってください。使おう。肉 That's 肉。
肉。
肉。牛肉。野菜。 野菜。
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 私の国について少しお話ししましょう。
私の国について少し話しましょう。お話しましょ
う。私の部屋は2階にあります。
私の部屋は2階にあります。部屋。私の部屋は2階にあります。
ここには何もない。ここには何もない。
ここには何もない。ない。ない。なくす。なくなる。
この温泉はタダです。
この温泉はタダです。タダ。この温泉はタダです。Free. Or Tadaima. I'm free now. くれる。
くれる。
くれる。それら。それら。these.
これら。
These. Not those. これら。I should have known better. これら。Boy, I'm really doing great now, huh? プログラム。プログラム。プログラム。プログラム。プロ。
プログラム。
プログラム。これら。
これら。
これら。Alright, let's okay, nothing there. Okay, 80 left. We got 2 hours 20 minutes right now. And like I said, any questions, feel free to ask. So it'll be about another 20 minutes or so to get through these 80.
このベルトの値段は2500円でした。
このベルトの値段は2500円でした。ベルト。このベルトの値段は、値段は2500円でした。500円でした。
週末はうちでゆっくりします。
週末はうちでゆっくりします。週末はうちでゆっくりします。ある。And in this case, it could have gone. Normally, it wouldn't be with kanji.
ある。
ある。So that's the verb ある。
売り上げは年度によって違います。
売り上げは年度に違います。売り上げは年度によって違います。年度によって違います。Year by year. まあまあ。
ママ。
Yeah, and then mama is so or okay. Mama. 売る。
売る。
売れる、売る。一部。Now this is adjective, not an adverb. So 近い。
5時までに家に帰るのは無理です。
5時までに家に帰るのは無理です。5時までに家に帰るのは無理です。That's a typical Japanese job there.
日本人はお米が大好きです。
日本人はお米が大好きです。It's more like gohan, but お米。米。日本人はお米が大好きです。That's rice not cooked. It hasn't been cooked yet. Let's see, we're at 70. Let's go down to this. 長い。店。should be 合格。 Gokaku. And I forgot this word, by the way. I completely forgot this. I just saw the two kanji here, fit and status, and okay, gokaku, gokaku. The idea being, the reason why I still pass it, even though I technically forgot what it was, is this is about literacy. So if I saw this, gokaku, I would know what it means. Alright, so I know it's passing in. Alright, that's the idea anyway.
合格。
I don't want to
彼
make...
は家を売った。
That's not the majority of the time, and that's alright, but yeah. Gokaku. Oh, sorry.
彼は家を売った。
彼は家を売った。彼は家を売った。赤。
赤。
赤。
彼からメールを受け取りました。
彼からメールを受け取りました。受け取る。彼からメールを受け取りました。From him. I received mail. 受け取る。部屋。部屋。
部屋。
部屋。部屋。
彼女は黒いドレスを着ています。
彼女は黒いドレスを着ています。着る。OK。彼女は黒いドレスを着ています。全然。or 全部。全部。全部. You also have zen, but that's more of a negative sense with the negative verb. But
全部。
全部。
この学校は一クラス30人です。
この学校は一クラス30人です。クラス30人です。That's a crowded class, or it could be an average class depending on the school. It's crowded if you're trying to do a language, like legitimately teach some people languages. 学校。
お茶を入れましょうか。
お茶を入れましょうか。お茶を入れましょうか。
娘が入学試験に合格しました。
娘が入学試験に合格しました。There's the 合格 again. So 入学試験、the entrance exam. 合格しました。
日本の食べ物はとても美味しいです。
日本の食べ物はとても美味しいです。I agree. 日本の食べ物。And somebody say, when is it Nihon, when is it Nippon? I have no idea. I guess this case because it was described. So 日本の食べ物はとても美味しいです。作る。So we have sukao to use, sukuru to make. 作る。
私はテレビをあまり見ません。
私はテレビをあまり見ません。So not much.黒いドレス。彼女は黒いドレスを着ています。黒い。
彼は帰国しました。
彼は帰国しました。彼は帰国しました。He returned home.
兄は2階にいます。
姉は2階にいます。2階。いや、2階。兄は2階にいます。遠い。And remember, it's to o. Usually it's with them, but遠い。Okay, 50 more to go, so it'll be around. Yeah, okay, I guess I won't be reading the text. Probably just call it a day. Ushiro. There's also Uda, but we want Ushiro. Ushiro 向いて。
私は毎日たくさん野菜を食べます。
私は毎日たくさん野菜を食べます。私は毎日たくさん野菜を食べます。食べます。週末。 matsu.
週末。
週末。To not be. なくなる、なく。ない I mean, it should be ない but なく. Huh. I feel like saying なくなる. I don't care. Okay, I'm just gonna do なくなる. I don't care. ない. It was ない.
ない。
I'm an idiot.
ない。
Nai. Of course it was nai. It's an adjective, not adverb. I was saying for some reason I was thinking adverb when it was saying it was an adjective. Adverbs normally have the ku, and adjectives, if they're the e adjectives are normally. There's also adjectives which are na, which are actually just adjective nouns that are work as adjectives. Okay, but anyway. Toku. Whoa. Toku. Toi, then we have toku. Alright, so there's an adverb, so that's why it's a ku.
遠く。
Toku.
昨日の夜は肉をたくさん食べました。
昨日の夜は肉をたくさん食べました。So 昨日の夜、昨日の夜、昨日の夜、and then は or 昨日の夜。昨日の夜は肉をたくさん食べました。
突然電気が消えた。
突然電気が消えた。
駅の近くで食事をした。
駅の近くで食事をした。駅の近くで食事をした。小学校。小学校。ない。テレビ。ない。この店はハヤシライスはない。ありますよ。Oh, shoot. Forgot the undifficulty yet. ない。Okay, good. Next. Alright, 40 for these, that'll be about another 10 minutes. So it'll be about 2 hours, 40 minutes in the stream. Tomaru. Tomeru. It is tomaru.
止まる。
はじめに。はじめて。
初めて。
寒い。cold。寒い。大事。はじめに。初めて。悪い。And I said warui was like wadio, but I guess that might be probably is wrong. Wadio instead of warui. And it wasn't waruyo, it's wadio, so I don't know. I was probably wrong on that then about him being evil wadio. This probably turn the N upside down. It did that for Mario Wadio and left it at that. There was no play on words there. Kaze. 渡す。 渡る。
渡す。
pass. ここ。
ここ。
ここ。ここから。From now on. ここから。should be ここから。これから。
これから。
From here instead of from now on. これから。I messed that up from yesterday as well. My mind is 2回. My
2回。
mind is gone. From now on. これから。これから。ここから。これから。
これから。
頑張ります。Okay, so do 初めて and これから. Let's see, were there any others? Starting to get a little nippy now. Sun's going behind the clouds.
彼の車は新しい。
彼の車は新しい。車。彼の車は新しい。新しい。新聞。新聞。
新聞。
新聞。
今、部屋の温度は25度だ。
今、部屋の温度は25度だ。5度だ。今、部屋の温度は25度だ。温度。暑い。Now that's temperature for the air temp hot. Air temperature. This is hot as in to the touch. Then there's atsui, which means thick.
暑い。
It depends on context.
この部屋は寒いです。
この部屋は寒いです。寒い air temperature. Sumetai would be cold to the touch, and samui is air is cold. Passaporto, passaporto, pass. I'll do it again. Passaporto, passaporto, passu. Passu. Okay.
パスポート。
Passu. Okay, I'll take that. I was wondering why it looked weird, but okay. Passu. Taifu. Hello. Taifu.
台風。
Iru. But anyway, it's here we go. Okay, iru.
Iru.
There's also iru for need, but that's a different one. Passaporto.
パスポート。
Passport. Formal, so it's yoku. Yoi.
良い。
Yoi. Not jose, so onna. And don't refer to women as onna. It's a kind
女。
of rude, kind of like referring to someone as bitch. So onna no ito or jose. Just all right, 2 more to go. Wow, we're up to 5 people watching. Okay, hi 5 people watching. Say hi.
このスープはとても熱い。
Kono soup wa totemo atsui. Because I'm nearing the end of this, you want to have any questions or something about what I'm going to be planning on doing or whatnot, no problem. Kono soup wa totemo atsui. Now this is atsui, hot. Kono soup wa totemo atsui. Red Rascal, heyo, okay. Furui. Okay, we have Vladzor. Hi, Vlad. Furui.
古い。
Furui.
今日の新聞どこに置いた？
今日の新聞どこに置いた？
バスで行こ
バスで行こう。バスで行こう。秋。
秋。
秋。
今日はとても暑い。
今日はとても暑い。暑い。That's temperature 暑い。So 今日はとても暑い。熱。やっと熱が下がった。新しい。
カナダの冬はとても寒いです。
カナダの冬はとても寒いです。寒い。冷たい。寒い。思い出す。Because it's a transitive verb, so it's 出す。思い出した。I remembered.
思い出す。
Let's see. Vlad, good luck with the stream. Thanks for being part of kicking off my JP journey years ago. Started with Core 2K, 6K. Got to go to my reps and read. All right, cool. Okay, thank you, Mo. Glad it helped. And like I said, hopefully this reaches a lot more people. I know, because the problem with what I had on with the
彼女は秋に結婚します。
problem with what I had on here with the Kanji Kohi forums is a darn good forums in my opinion. A lot of mature people are there for discussion, interested in learning, actually serious about learning Japanese. And you don't get a lot of those. Hey, a lot of the beginner questions are not there because again, most people they're searching for learning kanji, which is not. So a lot of people who aren't serious about learning Japanese usually want to push kanji off as far as possible. Maybe not serious. I mean, it's just that they're usually not coming to here. But anyway, so this was designed for people who have some standard questions, what to do next, and that was where I designed this from. But it just wasn't as visible. I feel like both of it being on Memorize here and also where I've been keep posting about it here on Learn Japanese, it brings a lot more visibility to about at least these steps of which resources to use and in what order and to what amount, and then slight little things I do on my own, which is improving this a little bit. Like I don't think anyone else had it tested where they play usually with the vocabulary for people who do Core 2K, 6K, the sentences are mixed immediately in with the vocabulary. They're not separate things that are used to test it. So this may have been the first time I tried it in this way. It might have been done with I Know or some other courses, but I wasn't aware of it. And
彼女は秋に結婚します。
So it'll be in the future. 彼女は秋に結婚します. There's tie and there's marriage. So if you were starting to study kanji, you're starting to see all these things. Atsui. Remember, pick the correct kanji.
暑い。
Atsui. Tatakai. Tatakai.
暖かい。
Warm.
昨日の夜、熱が出ました。
昨日の夜、熱が出ました。出る。出まる。Actually, look at that word real quick. Should be 出る and then 出ました, right? Yeah, it should be you got a fever yesterday.
昨日の夜、熱が出ました。
Yeah, I thought so. 冬。
このコートはとても暖かい。
このコートはとても暖かい。コート。
このコートはとても暖かい。台風が近づいている。
台風が近づいている。近づいている。近づける。近づく。Yeah. Become. Okay. More. Should be 思います。Should be just be 思う, right? I was thinking it's like 思える for some reason. But well, I'm just going to do 思う. 私そう思います。思い。
思う
思う こ
こ
こ bus
バス
bus. Okay, that was everything, right? I didn't miss anything this time, right? All right, that's all right. We got 44 minutes left. Let's see, or I mean 14 or so minutes left. That's it for that one. All right, there we go. Now I can actually start doing my my thing. That'll be tomorrow. What I need to do, make sure is make sure these things are prepped. So I'll always be at least two levels prepped. I need to like prep these with the stories from the reviewing the Kanji website, getting the stories copied over, even if I may not personally use those stories myself, just so it's something done. I like to have those ready. And then, you know, the way I've got it set up now, where it's like I'm going, you know, here's the stroke orders that I'll be worrying about. In this case, I'll be doing these stroke orders. So let me bring these up over here. What the heck are you doing up there? Good God, man, you belong here. Belongs in a museum. Okay, and let's see, we're at lesson. Let's see, what do we do? We did 7, so I should be like 21, something like that. Yeah, so something like here. Yeah, I think we did this. And let's see, it was. Yeah, that was the last one. So this should be the one that's starting up, page 22. Alright, so this will be tomorrow when I start learning. I keep saying learning, and I also like to mention it's not really, I'm relearning. Tomorrow I'll start relearning the part 2. Remembering the kanji, part 2. Remember the kanji optimized, part 2. Remember, I'm going to say it right. Okay, and we got all that. So, and what page is that supposed to be on? Page, or number 449? We have that already. Oh, I gotta go all the way back up there. Good gods. Okay, 449. Yeah, there we go. 449 or something like that. Okay, so we're like right here. Compare. Okay, so we just did compare. Okay, so that's done. That's done. You know, the page is here. Whatever. It's all good. Don't have to worry too much about that. Yeah. Okay, so we are good. So I'll be doing this, starting this tomorrow. Question, Red Rascal. So why have you skipped so much kanji, or am I misunderstanding? Okay, Red Rascal. Here's the thing. There are 50,000 kanji in existence since a few thousand years ago when they started developing kanji, from when they were doing carvings on the back of turtle shells and burning those shells to send messages to the god. Or interpreting and whatnot. Okay, so, but in 1,000 years ago, Japanese went and got kanji into themselves. They kind of brought Chinese kanji over to Japan and started forcing it onto their language. And, you know, they didn't bring up every kanji, just kanji that were in common use at that time in Japan. And then they were also doing that over the few centuries and whatnot. And also in time, what we have is what's called, it's similar to English, where you use maybe 100 words are used 50% of the time, any time a word is used, and then maybe 500 words to 2,000 words are used 80% of the time. So that's called the laws of diminishing return. So you use the most common word is used, you know, a certain, like almost 1% of the time, but it's, you know, it's the most obvious, or, you know, 5% or whatnot, and it just goes on. Same thing works with kanji. So you're gonna have kanji that are used a lot, like all the time. And so we have is a list of 555 kanji that are used 75% of the time. So whenever if you say a word, you got a 75% chance it's one of these 555. So I wanted to just cover those 555. But I wanted to learn it in an order that's quick to learn. So I wanted to use Isaac's book, because he organizes it based on the primitives that are contained within the kanji. So learning in that order, nice and fast. But he's got 2,000 kanji in that book, so I'm skipping over 2,000. So I'm skipping over 1,500 of those kanji. Boom. They will be learned later, but for right now, hey, I want to be able to teach you just enough so you're spending just up to 30 hours learning these kanji, not too much longer. So it's a significant amount of time, but it's not comparative to someone who has spent 120 or 150 hours to finish the entire book, and then haven't even learned a word of Japanese yet. So you just want to learn 500 or so, and these are bang for your buck. You're going to be using them a lot. You're going to be seeing them a lot. You learn them, and then you got to learn some how they're used with some grammar, some basic grammar, and you're also going to learn basic vocabulary, and then learn some more advanced basic grammar, more advanced basic vocabulary. You know, so you got up to 1,000 vocabulary words, and they're all using this kanji that you've studied. Okay. hopefully that makes sense. It's there is a method to it. You don't, in other words, you spend 30 hours to cover 75%. Now, the next 555 kanji, you're still going to take 30 hours to learn it, but it's going to take you from 75% frequency to 90% frequency. So you covered 15%. So you spent 30 hours covering 75%, and then the next 30 hours you spend on those kanji, you're only going to cover 15%. 1/5 is effective, but you still need that 15%. Okay. Oh boy. So the other kanji from his book make up around 20 hours. Yeah, something around there. Yeah, 25%, 20 to 25%. And it's just frequency of use in the Japanese language. That's all. Now, and people say, well, if you don't know it, you're illiterate. You need to know these. Well, most kanji in Japanese literature, especially like some things you read, have above it what's called furigana. I'm sorry, furigana, which is basically kind of like pronunciation notes for that kanji. So especially for the less common kanji, and in fact they do it for like your mangas. They'll do it for almost every kanji, not just the uncommon things outside the JoJo level. But yeah, that's the same thing with kanji. It's the same thing with grammar. It's the same thing with vocabulary. I've got this divided into chunks. So let's say, but you get to here, boom. You've covered, let's say, 75% of the kanji, maybe 50% of the vocabulary. All right, and you want to bring that to 50 to 25, maybe 70% or something. So, and grammar is up to 70 or 80%. So right now, when you get to this point past 7, so now you're around the 70, 80%. You're past the N5 level, and you're probably somewhere in the N4 level as far as Japanese tests are concerned. You're doing pretty damn good. All right. Now you don't. This is optional. This could be optional. I put it in there because because you're going to be reading more than just text. More than just college textbooks. You're going to be reading, fun stuff, watching fun stuff, and so these kanji you want to cover a 90% coverage, even if you don't know how to say words using those kanji. Then we got Tai Kim, some more grammar, more vocabulary. So right here, by the time you get down to here, you've covered in time. In other words, for the time you would have spent learning, let's say to just right here, okay? By the time you would have spent learning 2,000 kanji from this, you got the benefit of learning 1,000 vocabulary words and some really basic and intermediate level grammar. Well, I wouldn't say intermediate level grammar, but like half of the basic grammar you need to worry about. And so now you have fun using Japanese as opposed to what I did, which is spend 4 to 6 months just learning kanji and not knowing a damn thing, how to say a damn thing in Japanese. Okay, probably answer your question 3 times over. Okay, I do that. I apologize. All right, what's this question? Okay, someone just said liked it. Okay, that was good. Let's go see. Was there any other things pop up? I don't think so, but let's find out. Actually, I should like this. I'm really bad about that. I don't like enough things, unfortunately. Like rate it. I don't rate enough of this. And yeah. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like the video if you've been having fun watching it today. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Apparently I've been doing this at least on a daily basis recently. Probably going to be continuing with that for at least the near term. That's the plan anyway. Let's see, what do we got for some quick questions? Does anyone know when JLPT tests will be available? I have no idea. I don't take JLPT, but I'm sure that's going to be an easy answer. I can't find this for life me on the internet. I find it dumb. What is the equivalent of wanting to be? I want to be? Yeah, I don't know. Naritai? Want to turn into it? Or Hoshi? Uriyamashi? Desirable. Let's see what else is new. And let's see, a couple questions. Self-studies. Looks like somebody already answered that. Could someone please explain the difference between ataru, tarimaedaro, utsu, a strike, and tataku, which is more like a spanking? Okay, I think somebody can explain that. And ore-sama, what? Don't say ore-sama. Yeah, that's a manga thing. Okay, it's not rude and it's childish to say ore-sama. That's not rude. It's just childish and stupid. It's like I don't know. It's like, there's ways you can refer to yourself in English, like refer to yourself in the first person. Sounds weird in English. In Japanese, it kind of sounds childlike or more feminine, more girlish to refer to yourself in the first person. Ore-sama, again, it's this, I don't know, you just hear it in manga. Why is he even asking? Oh, okay, these are some weird questions that, it's like people who are not really familiar with Japanese, you know, they're just starting off. And yeah, again, I guess I was the same way. Get worried about that. Alright, I was going to read this, but I guess there's really no need to. Was it Shukujitsu Kaisha de Shinshohin Shishoku Kaigi ga Okinawa Reru ga Gozoshi de Arinagara Gurara to Yohan Gurara no Yohan no Shitsucho Asamoto Shoshi ga Sugata wa nakata. Soshi ni shinshoku keiki o todokeru riko kabajo ni demo ni soshi wa omae kuchatte ii to what is that? Musena, I forget the word of it. Musena yogen hatsugen riko wa shikata naku keiki o taberu to nanka chigau na impacto o naratan daro kedo watashi wa motto simple na aji ga hoga kore musu no ga chotto kitsui no ka to sasayaku, or what was that, sasayaku yoni kanso you. Now what had happened, this is again, I think I've mentioned this before when I was reading, is that what I should have done, and I should actually do it, like this is an answer, because I recommend people read this, is I need to run this through the Japanese text analysis tool and strip out any of the audio that we got from the from the text to the spoken thing, because obviously we don't care about that because we already studied that with the first episode of Zettai Kareshi that we studied, or I studied, and add the additional audio, the additional vocabulary that is from this text for reading, and then make that available. So that could be, so I should do that for this text and the next text. So maybe as a project I need to really work on and get together and make it happen. Because that would be a really good thing. Yeah. You know, because the spoken part, no problem, because I've heard it enough times. But you know, again, there are words here, like izaori. Let's see, things that are like the descriptive phrases here is what you would read normally. What you'd read in a book. It would be a lot more complicated in books. But again, this is similar to doing a short novel. And if you're going to spend the time to learn the spoken dialogue, maybe not necessarily go sentence by sentence, but at least so you can know some of the words that are going to appear in this textbook here. And I have to decide, do I want to make it? There is, how many lines of dialogue are we talking about? 600 something. I think I'll just still do it by frequency. I won't spend as much time making this, making the reading part here as strict as I did with the spoken part. But okay, that could be doable. Because again, I go here, and if you've seen how I do for Zettai Kareshi for Japanese dramas, when I set it up, I got it set up in segments of 4 minutes each, and I give the introduced vocabulary first, and then subtitles. And vocabulary is always words from that 4-minute segment of time that you haven't learned before in the entirety of the basic structure. So from SGJL 01 to SGJL 12, any words that are in that group of training material that I present, then I will present those vocabulary words here. All right, and then, all right. So at the end, I guess what I'll do after the subtitles, I'll put one more vocabulary and call it the transcript vocabulary. Transcript vocabulary, drama transcript vocabulary for, and it'll be based on this this transcript here, which you can get from online. It's online from, if you go to dramanote.seisei.com or something like that. I've got the links anyway. I've got the links to it in here. So if you go to here and go to, like right here, multimedia, the resources, down here I have the links to the drama note transcript. So you go there and copy it, it'll go straight to the transcript. Okay, and yeah, and then having those vocabulary words fresh in your head, and that way when you're reading over the manual or the text there, it's not as intense. You just got to worry about the grammar, or the sentences and the grammar as opposed to the vocabulary itself. Okay, there we go. Oh man, life is worth living, and I don't want to live it alone. Okay, what do we have here? And we're just at the 3 hours. We got a couple new things. Go hard boiled, whatnot. Let's see what the latest has. The latest and greatest. There's, yep, nothing new there. No submissions are good, and okay, wanting to be. There we go. All right, so this has been 3 hours. 30-hour course is complete. I'll go through the YouTube, get the times, make sure, get the links to those times, get that full thing completed. I will be posting that on the Learn Japanese subreddit, link to it, make it available. Because I think this is something that, again, has not been done before, and it's nothing professional, nothing amazing, but it is something I think the average person who wants to get into learning kanji in the way that Hazik presents learning kanji is there to do. It's there. All right, so thank you all for watching. I will be back tomorrow. I don't know at the time, but it'll be, hopefully I'll be try to be doing these earlier again as opposed to later. So thank you.